Welcome to Clash Royale League Asia. It is the final day of the regular season. And we have all 8 teams going to that playoff, but it is not certain which team is going to be on which slot. First place, second place, third place, fourth place. Not much in Group A, but for Group B, there might be chances of moving up and down, so we have to get through those matches today. My name's G Clef. With me is one of the best of the best, Paper Thin.
How you doing?
I was going to ask you that question.
Oh, no. I beat you to it. Now you got to answer.
Doing well.
Good.
Because it's the final day. And still for Group B, the first play might actually change, right?
Yes, it absolutely can. If Chaos Theory loses and Ponos wins, then Ponos is the #1 team.
By head-to-head.
Yes, because they won the head-to-head. Now it starts to get weird because if Chaos Theory loses and Ponos loses and then Kix wins, then it gets all kinds of crazy.
Okay.
Because then I believe it's Ponos still. No, they do not win because if they lose.
Yeah, I think if the top 2 lose and then Kix, if they win, I think Kix takes the second place spot.
Yes.
Ponos dropped onto third, and Chaos might just be first.
Exactly.
Because they still have the head-to-head. We're gonna have all these right here. Better to explain with the image on top of the screen. We're talking about Group B, of course. Group A, Talon OP.GAMING, there's a chance that they might change, but they still end up facing against each other for third, fourth.
Right.
So there's not much of a difference, and even the prize pool for the prize for Group A and B, we only give out for the first 2. First place getting that $10,000, second place getting that $5,000. Nothing for the rest of the teams. So it's about the pride of who's getting that #3 for Group A, but Group B is the more exciting one. As we can see on your right side of the screen, those top 3 teams, they might be in a different place by the end of today.
Yeah, Chaos Theory controls their own destiny here. If they win, that's it. They win their group. Period. End of story. No one can catch them. If they lose, then Ponos has a chance to usurp them, but Kix does not because Kix lost to them during their matchup in the regular season. So, big day for Chaos Theory to start things off against Talon here. And this is it's really important for them. And Talon, the funny thing is like you said, it doesn't really matter too much for Talon. So that's kind of scary for Chaos Theory because you don't know what they're going to do. They might try some wacky stuff.
Yes. Like wacky stuff. I'm talking about like wizard wacky stuff that never comes out, or like E-Barb's wacky stuff. Who knows? I mean,
I'd be excited.
I mean, they have nothing to lose today.
Yes.
And they're up against the strongest right now on top of Group B, and also with Game Wit, they're on not tied, but on top of Group A and B. Chaos Theory with Benzer, they just seem unbeatable in that 1v1. 2v2, they've gotten stronger throughout the season, and they've been having such a great result, just having 2-0s oftentimes.
I mean, with riding on the back of Benzer, who's winning 80% of his games, which is just crazy. I mean, that's going to get you pretty far in and of itself. And of course, then on top of that, you have one of the best 2v2 players in JTV, who's winning 70% of his 2v2s as well. It's just such a stacked team this season. They are playing out of their minds across the board. But Talon is no slouch. They are a good team. SB, Master Hong, Jake, The Rock, and Yugi Art, they're very diverse. They can play many different kinds of decks. They're rotating through their 2v2s, and they kind of give you different looks at what they're going to do. This team could definitely beat them, no doubt.
Yes, and they're certainly strong, standing at with the match score 4-6. Of course, because the second place Brand Esports, who's playing the second match, they're having 6-4. So two number difference in the match score, so they cannot move up. But because OP.GAMING in 4th place defeated Talon by head-to-head, if they drop this match, they do go down to that 4th place. Here's that superstar team, Chaos Theory. 9-2 possibility if they take the win today with the match, and they have Benzer, not just Benzer, really strong 2 members, oftentimes SP and The Rock. But today it seems like it's going to be JTB and Dexter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, basically you throw JTB with just about anybody else and it looks good. The guy has just been an absolute monster in 2v2s. And yeah, I want to see what exactly they're going to be thinking here. We'll get the bans and our setups here in just a moment. And okay, here we go. Oh, All right, SB's going on.
Oh, Jackie Master Hong and SB. Okay.
Okay.
So the pair that has been coming out, not the most amount of time. The Rock and SB was the most amount of play for 2v2. Shake, Master Hong, they have been playing a lot in the earlier season, but not as much in the starting from like week 4, 5, 6, 7. But they're back, and this is the match where they can actually put the test because they're still going for that playoff regardless of what happens today. And then maybe they want to practice or show something else that they haven't done on the stage. It's also good to bring back the old duo and then have them play on the stage before that playoff that's happening in just a week.
Yeah, definitely kind of hide some of your strategies for the playoff because Talon knows exactly who they're playing and when they're playing next week. That can't change. They're playing OP.GAMING. That's all there is to it. So, you know, might as well hide a few things here, not give your opponents any idea what you're doing, but they're going up against a very good 2v2 in Dexters and JTV, who are 4-2 in their sets together, 9-7 in their games in 2v2. So definitely gonna have their work cut out for them. Arjake and Master Hong, and the Tornado and the Giant Skeleton Band just kind of meta bands.
Yep, meta bands, and also great for Chaos Theory because they have been using certainly a lot less compared to what Talon has been using, especially for the Giant Skeleton. As Talon, Master Hong using that 4 times the Giant Skeleton already with the RG, and even bring some mini P.E.K.K.A.s. Of course, that's super meta for 2v2, but that's been it's a data that's been outdated just a little bit because we oftentimes have a lot more graveyards coming out, graveyard freeze that has been used so many times, even though its win rate's not the best actually, even from the West or China. But in terms of what we have, it's actually got a decent win rate in Asia for the graveyard freeze on 2v2. So hopefully that's another option along with the lava.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing a lot of Lava Hound everywhere across the board, whether that be Asia or China, West, anywhere. Everybody's playing a lot of Lava Hound no matter where you're looking at it. So we can definitely see some of that, but there's a lot of other possibilities open here.
Yep, let's get it ready. First game, first set. Chaos Theory on top, Talon at the bottom. No Giant Skeleton, no Tornado.
Well, definitely leaves the Royal Giant open. And a lot of other things as well. There's basically just about everything's fair game at this point, except for like Royal Giant, Giant Skeleton, but there's still other Royal Giant. There you go. We see all the time in the Barbs right away this time to counter the Royal Giant.
Yeah, because of Barb, we've seen a rise in use of Fireballs, not just in 2v2, also in 1v1s. Let's see, maybe they just do not have that in their starting hand. Maybe want to do some extra damage with the poison later on. Only a Lightning. Yeah,
Lightning has become popular because of the use of the Inferno Tower. It is basically the best counter you can have to the Inferno Tower.
They're using that Rage to speed up the lava. Inferno right next to the tower. It does lock onto the Inferno. There's that clone on that 2v2. Pups breaking out back to back.
Yeah, you got a Lumberjack right underneath that. The Rage comes down.
So Inferno locked onto the tower.
Oh no, that's so much damage.
With the Rage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the angle was sort of weird, so we couldn't directly catch it, but I saw the number going down, and that's definitely the laser locking onto the Princess Tower.
Yep, now they can switch lanes because they feel confident that they'll be able to take down that tower, probably just with spells most likely. And here comes that Fireball you were talking about right away. That's going to allow for quite a few extra shots from that Royal Giant. So
yeah, even the Mega Minion will do a couple of swipes, but lava is coming along with the bats and the Lumberjack. And that Rage already.
Good snowball there to help deal with that clone, but still it's not enough. There is so much here already. That Lumberjack is just hacking away, and down goes the Princess Tower.
The Lumberjack Rage from the clone actually did so much to boost that up. The original, the normal, regular, original Lumberjack? I guess, not the cloned one, the real one. Survived for such a long time.
There you go. The cloned Lumberjack would have an argument with you about that, but all right, we have an Inferno Dragon that does get backed off, so it's quite a few more shots coming in for this Royal Giant. So this is still well within shooting range here for Chaos Theory.
Yeah, really good. 340, and Talon's still up ahead. But really good placement because they know that Fireball's available. They still have Barbarians.
Yep. Log this time to deal with the Barbarians. They feel like not quite able to get that there, so they're going to have to use one more spell to take that down. And it's going to have to be a fireball or a lightning on the right-hand side.
Oh, they just dropped the lava onto the right. This Rojan actually does do a little too much, and Chaos Theory might just run away with 2 crowns because Talon, I don't see any damaging spells right now at the moment. They have 2 extra.
Wow!
That's the thing, they only had clones. They had a few more question marks. Maybe it was something like an earthquake or some snowballs, but it didn't come into the right time.
Wow, that was crazy there. Great turnaround. Constantly splitting lanes, forcing Talon into weird decisions to get through there. I mean, they started out so good, and the clone, I think, definitely caught them quite a bit off by surprise there.
So we had a few extra cards that we couldn't get to see, but the fact that they put the last Rava onto the right side, that basically means that they were lacking the damaging spells. I don't think the remaining cards, maybe 1 out of 3 were the damaging spell, but not all 3 or even 2. That's why they had to put that lava to get that second tower destroyed, but not in time.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head a little bit trying to think about what it could be. I mean, it could definitely be a poison or a fireball or something like that. Then they never really had a good opportunity to use it because with all of these tanky, single target units that was being brought by Chaos Theory, there's the only, multi-unit that they brought is the skeletons. Everything else is just a single unit. So if you have something like poison, then it's really hard to find the opportunity to use that spell.
Yep, exactly. As you're not really going to destroy all those small goblins or bats on top. Chaos Theory, after seeing that lava instant drop onto the left, it was about time for them to make that call anyhow. So it was perfect for them to push for that left bottom. A really nice good push, and they also had the lightning somewhere spells to do direct damage to the tower. Chaos Theory, they also got somewhat lucky at the end by having that giant push. Let's see if Talon changes things up. They only had the clone last time. Spells are very effective in 2v2.
I like the idea by Talon. Try and throw your opponent off guard, but JTV and Dexter's responded so nicely there, switching lanes up, keeping things off balance because it takes so long for those lava hounds to cross the map. It buys you a little bit of, it gives you a little bit of opportunity to surprise your opponent to rush the other side. They're gonna stick with it.
Same with the clone again, and this time it's Giant, not the Royal Giant. Here comes the defensive poison from Chaos Theory, the Rage, and I believe the second Rage even drops from the Lumberjack.
Yeah, this time they bring bats, but there are snowballs available from both teams. Kind of knock things back. Get a few extra hits from the pups there. So a decent amount of damage done that time.
Could have been just a little more if the Princess Tower caught to the pups before it got to the Mega Minion. A good catch from the Princess, getting all the ones that are closer to her.
And now they're going to try and push the other side. So this time they're the ones reacting to what Chaos Theory is doing, waiting for them to start their push and then forcing the action that way, which makes a lot of sense because then your Inferno Dragon is still on your side and you get double Inferno Dragons, even
and
with a lightning.
More barbarians with the clones. They're just rushing away with the flying machine on the bat, and even Rage. Inferno Dragon does lock onto the baby dragon, gets deleted. Some pups are doing some damage.
But that flying machine was locking on there. That was a good snowball, but it's
that's
still
more than some damage. That's about 1,000 already.
Oh my gosh. The flying machine did end up targeting that Dark Prince, but now it's right back on there. Gets another shot in, and a couple bat hits as well.
And when that lava started hitting on that tower was around 2,000, so that was actually a lot more. Princess Tower not really locking onto the pups directly. Because Chaos Theory, they had to use the snowball onto the flying machine and the ones coming from the bridge, not directly, right next to the Princess Tower. So the pups got to survive for a little longer amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to set up the defense this time on the left because they pushed with their Lava Hound first. An offensive poison here from Chaos Theory. So that Inferno Dragon does a lot of work. There are a few hits there by the Giant. Up in the top right, though, that Lava Hound is getting slowed up by an E-Wiz. There's the clone, and a snowball comes to knock that E-Wiz around.
And a good defense onto the left while they were just coming. They were already hurt from the poison damage from the defense from Talon's side. And so now the fact that they have 2 clones, it makes it really hard for Chaos because they have a zap and a snowball, but that's about it. And you have to really wait for those timings.
Yeah, the E-Wiz helps a little bit as well. That is one dead Giant, but those Princes are in there. Oh, that is so much damage, and down goes a tower. Top right tower looks like it is probably going to go down as well with
even
that
the
poison.
left side E-Wizard does come down, but it's deleted. Inferno Dragon locks onto the tower. Is it going to be in time?
Oh, they had a zap. The snowball comes in. It is enough to save it, but it is dangerously low. I mean, it's not one poison. In fact, it's not even 2 poisons away. So they need to do a little extra damage, and they're immediately just spamming the Lava Hound and the Flying Machine on the top right.
They want to get the bats surround onto the tower. There's the clone, but the Rage is a little faster on the bottom right. Only 260 to go.
Yeah, they just get something in the middle of it. I can't tell. It's the Lumberjack in between the Princes, so they were able to buy themselves enough time here. I believe it is Poison Snowball. Should end up do the trick here. There's the Poison. Just going to wait a little bit, make sure that those Princes don't get too much damage done onto their bottom tower. And there we go.
And finally, Talon securing a win. 1-1 tied with this 2v2. And this time with their clone, they don't actually wait for the perfect time to use the clone. They just spam it on the bridge, make maximum amount of units, so the opponent would just use a zap or the snowball. They're basically using the clone to bait out the spells.
Yeah.
And when they do not have the spells in their hand, none of the elixirs for that, they're in trouble.
Exactly, yeah, like you said, they have Snowball, Zap, and an E-Wiz, and that's not enough to deal with that amount of cloning. Because, yeah, you do it at the bridge, then they got to use their Zap or Snowball at the bridge, and then you can't knock the pups back when the Lava Hound, explodes.
And that has been the story for a lot of these teams, not just 2v2, lots of 1v1s. If you're only using the spells to defend, you're also missing that shot possibly going into the tower, like the poison, even the snowball chipping 56 every single time. It all counts until at the very end. We've had super close games. We've had a game that 2 towers destroyed at the exact same time, so it went on to an overtime.
Oh, that one. I remember that.
They kept on going because
crazy.
both towers on the left side got destroyed at the exact same time on 2v2.
Yes.
And then all 4 players said, okay, it's over, but it actually kept on going. Yeah, they can smile because they're locked in 2nd place for playoffs.
Yeah, Bren showing some love for their fellow SEA team there, wanting them to do a little damage. I mean, they're both of these teams are SEA. SEA's playing so well this season. This is the best we've seen from them in Clash Royale League Asia.
For the years that we have seen them, I think they're standing the best. Korea seems to be the weakest out of all 3 regions right now. Here we go, the 3rd game. Clone again? It worked.
Why not, I guess. But
like one more snowball from
yeah.
Chaos would destroy everything.
Yeah, that's all they need to do. I mean, that's the only real change that Chaos would need to make is just, another snowball. And, okay, a little bit of a change from Chaos already. Lumberjack Balloon coming down here, and a Miner.
Lumberjack locked onto the tower.
Ooh, does quite a bit of damage. That Balloon's going to delete that Inferno Tower, and that is a raged up Balloon doing a lot of damage. Only gets 1 drop.
Extra 272 with that death damage. 680 left already into 40 seconds into the game. There's that freeze, but I don't know if any of those... Yeah, because guards were still alive.
Yeah, a couple spawned on the top right side of that Princess Tower, and they were able to get a few swipes in, but not much damage done.
Yeah, a lot of those skeletons were actually connecting into the guards instead of the tower. That's something you have to think about. The Chaos, do they have defensive poison? This is an offensive poison from Talon.
Yeah, but they have the Lumberjack there to help clean up the graveyard. He's a good utility unit for that role. He's able to hack away pretty quickly at those skeletons.
Didn't do too much from the graveyard, but still got a good value out of that poison, so I think that rage, speed boost, sometimes gets you off the calculation.
Yeah, normally.
Prince is locked onto the Dark Prince, so the skeletons are actually connecting damage from the side.
Oh, that's so much. Just not enough skeletons spawning on the far side there. Where,
towards the guards.
Yeah, where the guards were. It's just, most of them were spawning on the top and bottom, and that's the worst when you're defending against the graveyard.
Yeah, tough situation. That's why you always have one of the prince, either the real prince or the dark prince, just cross the bridge, locks onto the Princess Tower. It's perfect timing. Graveyard. Once again, the freeze to delete the bat.
And the Lumberjack was just a little too early. So he does get caught up in that freeze, take quite a bit of damage.
Even the Baby Dragon will connect a few shots onto the Princess Tower on 2. And the Poison getting both Lumberjack and the Musketeer.
All right, Miner is on the backside this time, an Executioner here.
Double Balloon.
Oh boy. Do they have enough here to defend this? I think with the oh, the freeze comes down.
Everything.
Oh my goodness. What a freeze. Now, the counter push is coming. That Inferno Tower is distracted onto the Baby Dragon on the right-hand side. So they're going to have to use a poison as well, and that tower goes down relatively easily. I don't even think they needed that poison necessarily. Now those skeletons hacking away.
I think they just wanted to make sure, let's see what that cost is. That was an extra 4 elixirs that they didn't really need.
Snowballs.
Yeah, good knockback, and the Executioner will finish it, and that damage does not go in. That was close.
Yep. Good Inferno Tower placement there to keep the death damage outside of the Princess Tower. Executioner is going to get 1 throw in there, so that's actually pretty nice for them.
Executioner when the tornadoes banned. There's that P.E.K.K.A, but only going to that Musketeers and into the Skeletons. It's going to take a long time. Miner on the back.
Yeah, that balloon had no hope. The Miner on the back, you're right, does get a little bit of damage. Now there's some Musketeers here, but they are counter-musketeering each other. They will go down, and that Inferno Tower will end up wiping out that Baby Dragon.
There's a big problem for Talon. With the King Tower activated, the graveyard is so much weaker. So that's already one bad news, but and their tower's also going low with that freeze. Baby Dragon does not get caught, but the balloon connects, and that's game. Chaos Theory will take that first set, and Talon is in trouble because you know who's coming up on stage.
I was just thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, nobody's played Miner yet. I was just thinking, like, you got Tornado gone, nobody's playing Miner, something, and then the Miner balloon came out there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there we go.
The double balloon was the big moment, and when they had the perfect freeze, catching Baby Dragon, Musketeer, Executioner, and the tower all together with just one freeze, that was a clutch one.
Yeah, when you can get all of those units with that perfect placement of the freeze spell like that, that pretty much gives you a Princess Tower almost for free in that situation. Because all the resources have been expended, especially because that Executioner is heavier than a lot of units you see defending pushes with air units with balloons.
That was a lot of fun. That was certainly a lot of fun with the clones and the amount of units that we saw. Like, yeah, 10 barbs.
Yeah,
those Royal Giants, they got melted. Even Chaos Theory, good thing they actually brought a Fireball here, because oftentimes we do see a lot of Barbarians in defense against the Royal Giant. Snowball Barbarian, it actually deletes it completely without taking any damage.
Yeah, the Barbarians are seeing a lot more play across the board in various different kinds of decks. They can kind of fit in as your tank killer in whatever slot, and then all of a sudden there's a lot of beef on the board as well. So if you don't have something that does AoE damage, like an Ice Wizard or something like that, then you might be in a bit of trouble having to deal with that unit. So yeah, Fireball, we're seeing a lot more of that. Furnace as well, a lot of that, because it does counter it pretty well actually.
Yep, and no Wizard.
A wizard! He is the saddest wizard of them all. He doesn't get to have anything nice.
Yeah, this freeze coming down right here.
And the Dark Prince too, why not? Might as well get him as well.
Yeah.
Then another nice freeze, but a Baby Dragon, the damage output is not enough.
Yeah, sometimes Baby Dragon does some damage to the balloon, but not enough. The bats would actually destroy the tower so much better.
Yeah.
SB. Benzers.
You banned Benzer.
Yeah, they would have banned Benzer because, well, he did one part. Mortar is banned. I think that's the strongest ban that you can actually have against Benzer, or just the Hog Rider.
Absolutely.
One of those two are the strongest bans. I think SB is really ready for the play today.
I think the Mortar is Benzer's best deck. I mean, it says that his most played is Royal Hog, but we're often seeing Mortar banned against him. And whenever I see him play Mortar, it's just a thing of beauty. His ability to place those Mortars at the right time in the right spots, to drag units around, especially his defensive Mortar placement, is so good.
Yeah, along with those Rascals, and often comes the Miner in cycle too. And when this player gets some extra time with the overtime, he will eventually grind you out. So I'm really excited to see what SB actually has in hand against Benzer. He better be ready. The ban seems perfect. No tornado in this 1v1 too. Oh, good timing for to use Miner all over that Princess Tower. Game is ready. Let's go. Chaos Theory takes the first set. Will they take another one? Is it going to be Talon coming back strong in this 1v1?
Yeah, we know SB is able to play many different kinds of decks that are off meta even. So we could see some interesting kind of strange stuff here. Right away, the Spear Goblins for Benzer, some bats to help clean those up and not get some extra damage.
SB actually used a lot of different decks this season. 3 Royal Giant, 2 Sparky, 2 Royal Giant, Royal Hogs, 3 P.E.K.K.A. B-Ram, 1 Hog, 1 Lava. So basically everything that you can name in the meta.
Yeah.
Every single meta deck he has been playing.
Yeah, he's all over the board, and a Skarmy here.
Skarmy and Lava with Clone. Are they really going for that clone?
Are they just like clone all day? It's like there's some other Skarmy decks that are kind of popping up around here. There's a Mega Knight version with Hog Rider. It's okay. Now
yeah, sometimes Skarmy goes into the Goblin Barrel to draw out some spells. But Benzer does have the quick cycle with the Prince Miner Poison.
Yeah, definitely when Tornado's banned, you smell Miner. That's definitely up there. Of course, the Inferno Tower almost always placed in there. Is that clone indeed? That's a lot of pups, but there is a snowball available. So I believe a little bit of damage will be done here. Benzer's kind of holding his thoughts here, seeing how much gets done.
He still shakes his head saying, okay, that was not perfect.
Yep.
That was a big attack. I mean, even with that clone, big investment coming from SP.
Here comes that Skarmy with the Barbarian Barrel in the front to tank a little bit. But that Baby Dragon hits both units with that splash damage from its belches. And oops.
Yes. So Benzer does have... so even the Baby Dragon getting a few hits there. The problem is that Skarmy. How does he actually take it out? He can't use the giant snowball because that lava clone is too dangerous. If he does use it already to get that rage down.
Yeah, I guess like it's kind of weird because like, oh, that Prince does get the charge in there. It's kind of weird. I mean, you're hoping that bats or Spear Goblins get through there, but he's got snowball available to deal with either of those.
But he's got poison this time. Benzer is thinking otherwise. Okay, poison does deal pretty well against all the lava pups.
Right. Ooh, there he used the snowball that time. So now the clone is open up in the top right.
Yeah, defensive lumberjack, but the Prince is going to connect to the tower. Oh, just before it gets leaded.
All right, that Baby Dragon is locked onto the top left. Benzer in a little bit of trouble here. He's got a very healthy
bat chasing the lava hound. Yeah, SP's willing to take some minor damage and keep up his push along with this flying machine.
He's switching sides now. Inferno Tower coming down this time, and a poison used to take out that flying machine. He doesn't want that. He'll catch a couple pups as well. Good placement on that poison.
And connected with his own push. And a great miner mind game there. Lumberjack was not ready.
Yep, Lumberjack not in the right spot. Get a few hits onto that Prince, and now he's going to cross the bridge and might be getting ready for clone time. Yes, indeed. That is a lot. The poison is available. The snowball cleans all of that up, though, so now the Lava Hound starting to belch, as well as the Baby Dragon onto this top left Princess Tower.
Yeah, even the Lumberjack coming all the way down. Lots of small units. Snowball already used, so as we're predicting that Skarmy. Good back-to-back counters with the spells coming out from these both players. They're just so good.
Yeah, they're both doing such a good job of predicting each other's movements, going back and forth, using their spells at the right time.
Yeah, no lava this time. SP surely had enough elixirs for that push, but gets to eliminate that Inferno without really doing too much work.
Yeah, I think he wants to get the Lumberjack involved this time, get that rage going. Yeah. Here comes some bats as well to back this up. Clone comes down, so you're going to get some rage action going. And now you've got a raged up Lava Hound belching down in there. The Skarmy will end up dealing with this. He uses the snowball, though.
Lumberjack comes down against the Prince, but the Miner will connect a few shots all the way onto the back. And that has been what SP...
Oh no, the bats!
Even the bats slip!
Ooh, that's a bit of a mistake on that snowball.
Like 2-3 connects from the bats. And 287
Oh, just cloning. Wow, the flying machine and the baby dragon.
Yeah, he knows that with the cycle, with the poison and the snowball, the game is going to be over as we try this last moment. The miner does connect along with that to snowball, and that's going to be game with that final shovel. Benzer winning once again with the cycle. It's only the first game. SB had his moments and did like how he changed up his cycle and baited that Inferno Tower out once again, and then got the Lava Hound after. But the cycle from Benzer is too quick enough that Inferno Tower comes back really quickly.
Well, Benzer, he learned midway through that match that he can use the poison to defend the clone stuff, and that's efficient enough. And then he's allowed to use the snowball on the other side to deal with the Skarmy, and then he has enough elixir to actually carry through with that. Yeah, he is taking some damage, but in the end, he's doing a little bit more damage over time, and he doesn't even need to use that poison on offensively because he's getting enough value from it defensively.
So how they interacted was really cool and bothersome for both players. Let's start with Skarmy. So there's a giant snowball for Benzer to get his Prince go through against the skeletons, which means the Lumberjack had to come down from SB, which means that Lumberjack cannot pair up with that rage perfectly with the lava. So a lot of these kind of interactions between the two players, they were trying to save up their spell for their own push possibly, and they're having another source of defense. Poison Snowball in this case for Benzer was actually the perfect tool against all the lava.
Yeah, exactly, and it was a nice deck choice by him. I kind of expected some Miner, like I said, because of the Tornado ban from Benzer. And he's very comfortable with the Miner. Obviously, he uses it a lot when he's doing mortar stuff. So it's definitely a unit he's familiar with, and Talon's going to take a timeout. But yeah, exactly. It's kind of this weird cat and mouse game where you want to be the one forcing your opponent to use the spells the way you want them to be used, right? Okay, well, you're good. I want you to use your snowball on, you know, my bats and the spear goblins that are coming across the bridge, while my Miner and my Prince do some other stuff and try to get damage in that way.
Yeah, especially when your opponent has clone, if you're stuck with 2 spells, and including Bar Barrel as a spell, of course. If you're stuck with 2 spells, sometimes you run out of spells, and you are stuck, especially the Prince against those skeletons. If they get stuck, they will never get to the tower, and they will just get destroyed by that 3-cost Skarmy. And you're talking about 5 elixir Prince here. Let's see if that cycle keeps on working for Benzer, or SB will have another bait against him. Game 2.
I want Sparky.
You want Sparky.
I want Sparky. We'll see. SB plays it. I know he does.
I want Wizard.
I would love to see that too.
There's no tornado, so
yeah,
less of a chance when there's no chance already.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Benzer might not be changing much up. We'll see though. Oh, nope, he is changing it up. Okay, definitely something a little different here. Normally you see the Spear Goblins and the Goblin Gang paired up with a Mortar, but this time, of course, it's banned.
Yeah, he can still switch it up
Mega
to...
Knight. Maybe. There is this Mega Knight Rascals deck that has...
It was a weird game with there's this was switch with Expo.
Ah, yes, absolutely.
Still Benzer does have a Miner, so less of a chance. There's that mini P.E.K.K.A to deal with that Miner, but the prediction of the placement was really tough, the toughest thing for SP.
Yeah, definitely. We don't see mini P.E.K.K.A much, but paired up with a Ram Rider here. Okay, well, Tesla. Now it starts to feel like Expo.
Yes, but still, it's basically the minor damage that Benzer wants to really chip in. Against Ram Rider, maybe it's going to be sealed for a very long time within this game, because he can still cycle out a lot of his Goblin Gang, Rascals, both lanes, and draw out all the spells, making sure his Miner connects when those small units go across the bridge.
All right, the Lumberjack's going to meet up with the Rascal Boy, and they're going to trade damage here. Good placement on that Miner. The Baby Dragon was on the opposite side, so just a little bit of an extra notch in Benzer's cap there. And here comes the Ram Rider behind the Barbarian. The Baby Dragon Snowball comes in.
Good Snowball, actually, letting that Baby Dragon lock on. There's a minion horde to lock onto the Baby Dragon when it's locked on. You actually want that Baby Dragon to lock onto the Princess Tower so the minions do not get deleted by those small fireballs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so an E-Wiz here. Pretty standard stuff with the Ram Rider. And Down go the Spear Goblins. The Miner on the opposite side this time. Changing up his push immediately. The Mini P.E.K.K.A comes down.
Yep, because Benzer knows that if the Mini P.E.K.K.A goes, Benzer has a lot more smaller units to cycle out against the Mini P.E.K.K.A. He's really being smart about the cycling here.
Yeah, exactly. He's keeping SB pretty well off of his Princess Towers, keeping that Ram Rider busy, stuck behind some stuff, but a Lightning cleans all that up, so the Ram Rider will get her charge in. She does quite a bit of damage there. Great Lightning.
They're actually keeping the boy away from that Ram Rider. So much damage already from just that one big push. The Bar Barrel to delete all the back units.
Great timing.
One more Ram Rider push is all SB needs to take the game.
Yep, here it comes. The Tesla is available, and this time he's going to put it further away.
Not enough elixirs for another Lightning on this push.
All right, now SB has to try to find a window himself. The Goblin Gang is going to get taken out here by that Baby Dragon. He just cycles the Lightning this time. And here comes the Miner with the Minion Horde behind it. The Snowball does back all this up. A Log as well, but that Lumberjack will distract the Minion Horde.
What does it follow up with? Minions to Ewis does come down, but the Rascals onto the other side.
Does get that Goblin Gang down just in time, but SB does have the Lightning. So he turns it around, takes game number 2.
Holding that Lightning until the moment of hitting that Tesla and the tower together, that was the key for the Ram Rider to strike into that top left. And Benzer had some idea, but was not 100% sure if it was going to be Lightning or not. And Tesla just goes instantly down against Lightning. It's good to drag all the attention away from the Ram Rider all the time.
Yeah, it almost, this variant of the Ram Rider becomes a weird half control, half cycle. Where you're just kind of keeping your opponent at bay, and then you're trying to spam that Ram Rider every chance you get. And the Lightning is there to clean up any big things, like if they have an Inferno Tower, various other things. You know, because Inferno Tower is so popular in the meta, Lightning is very, very useful for that. Of course, it does a ton of damage to the towers.
Oh yes, that's basically given. And also, Benzer was trying to save up his Minion Horde, so that along with the it's like Miner Bats, but even with a greater version, because Miner Minion Horde will just, if it locks onto the Miner Minion Horde, will just finish the Princess Tower with just that single wave attack. And Benzer was really trying to complete that with his Miner, but really never followed because of the giant snowball and great defense from SP.
Yeah, it's hard when you're running the Miner deck with, you know, Minion Horde or Goblin Gang or something like that. If your opponent has, you know, the snowball's not going to take out your minions, but it buys you quite a bit of time to get something else underneath with next to that Miner, so then your minions start attacking whatever unit you have going on that Miner. And then also because you have Barbarian Veil, you're trying to do the the Miner Goblin Gang push, and that one doesn't really work as well. You just need the Bar Barrel to counter that.
And it was locked out with 7 cards. The Ram Rider actually doing so much work here, pressuring so much, and the Tesla had to be locked on to get rid of that Ram Rider. Not completely all the time, because the charge damage is actually insane. I think Tesla almost loses half of its HP, more than half of its HP just from the charge. Tesla can be good against the Hogs, and it can bring you a perfect defense, but against Ram Rider, not quite. Because of that, of course, Hogs do cost a little less compared to the Ram Rider.
Yeah, and that charge damage is just so insane. 440 damage is crazy huge. So, this is the deciding game, and it could be match point if Benzer could take it. Oh, gotta love the emote spam.
You bring another cycle into your final 1v1.
Yeah.
Ooh. I have those moments where I try to copy these players, and then I activate the King Tower.
Well, we saw Rhea do it on accident one time, so we don't feel too bad. Miner, not too surprised this time. It is the Mega Knight. And a Prince again. So Benzer maybe going back to the deck he won with in the first game.
Yes, very likely. As deck choice from SP. likely to follow up with the following Ram Riders and so on. If it's just a traditional Ram Rider Mega Knight deck. It's not the greatest backup for against Spencer though.
What in the world? SB, you madman. I love it. And oh my goodness. Ah, okay. Yes, I have seen this from time to time, but it's often not the Goblin Giant, it's the Royal Giant.
It's a variant, but the Zap resets the Inferno Tower so that the Goblin Giant stays for a longer time. Sparky gets taken out from the Sparky.
That is not
and
ideal. It's going to get a shot.
And calls out for a good game. About 1,100 damage, I believe, with each shot from Sparky. And he says, good game. SP was trying to trick everyone, including us and the viewers and Benzer, saying that, okay, I got my Mega Knight. You should be expecting, along with the guards, too.
You know what's kind of interesting about this is this is almost Inferno Tower bait with the Mega Knight and the Goblin Giant. Like, you got to use the Inferno Tower and one of those two. And actually, Inferno Tower is a pretty good counter to Sparky. It can soak up one shot long enough and do its damage long enough to kill the Sparky. So this is kind of fascinating. And a Fireball at the end of all this. This is a crazy bananas deck here from SB.
Yeah, we've seen some RG Sparky decks with the Skull Army and those variants, but this is actually a very good bait and well put in towards Paper Thin right there. I think Benzer also got really caught there. Having that Zap is the key to delete that Inferno. To have that reset, SB just with that first move is just going to take this game.
All right, he's got to try to get this push to work here. There's only 14 seconds remaining, and he's already going to call a good game. It doesn't look like that Prince is going to get through. Just isn't enough available. And a Sparky in the pocket, because why not?
And the Fireball all the way to the corner. Some great manner, great sportsmanship being shown. And SB had a lot of fun. Talon brings us to King of the Hill here. Tied 1-1 set score. Benzer, unlike himself, he's going to be brought down by SB and a little less of a win rate now, but still that was some good cycling going on from Benzer.
Yeah, Benzer was, you know, I think it was the right idea maybe to go back to that Minor Prince, go back to what worked for you in the first game, but I think SB is one of these interesting people. When I talk to him backstage, he'll often tell me, I'll be like, wow, you picked a really interesting deck there. Why? And he's like, oh, I knew exactly what they're going to play. And he just kind of reads his opponents really well. And I think he might have kind of sniffed this one out with this Inferno Tower and kind of the similar kind of deck and went for something that just is incredibly interesting.
Inferno Tower, not just Benzer, against anyone, it's the meta card, the meta building card. Against anything, against Hogs, against Royal Hogs, against Royal Giants. It is the card that you want to have a defense against. Make sure your Princess Tower is safe. And that all started with the Motor Band. I think with the Motor Band, you were expecting some kind of cycle with the Miner. And if you're just thinking about Benzer, it's going to be a few Miner combinations with the Rascal. This is what you expect, not with a Tesla, but still a lot of these small units like the Goblin Gang, Spear Goblins, Rascal. That's what you're basically expecting Benzer to play oftentimes.
Yeah, and a lot of times he's got Inferno Tower behind all this. It's a very common setup with a Miner type deck. There's a lot of Miner decks that have Inferno Towers built into it. And of course, even the Zap as well here for SB leads me to believe that he knew exactly something. There was going to be Inferno Tower somewhere.
I think these kind of deck building, after all the studies, after all this good read onto the cards and the meta, I want to see more decks like this coming out from all the players, not just SB. I know it's the final day and he has a lot more data and statistics available to go against specific players. Let's see if that continues into King of the Hill. Still a Motor Band, really targeting Benzer here. Shaka, Yuki-Heart, SB in order from Talon, JTB. Oh yeah, Benzer from Chaos Theory, still keeping that Tornado Band too.
Yep, so they were kind of thinking Miners all the way here. War Chaos Theory, and I think Talon, I mean, like I said at the beginning, you know, they got nothing to lose here. If they win or lose this match, it doesn't affect where they go in the playoffs, really. I mean, you're playing for pride a little bit. You want that third place slot secured, but at the same time, that opens the door for SB to do, you know, wacky wild stuff like Mega Knight, Goblin Giant, Sparky.
Yes, a wild from standard, I think.
Well, yeah, that is a heavy deck too.
Wild one have to bait your opponent. And this is also what happens when you are into weeks of play. You just understand your opponent so well. You just know what they're going to play very, very likely. So you can actually make a deck that goes like anti-deck against a specific player. Love it. Chuck is on stage. Wonder what he's gonna bring. Of course, for 1v1, still no Royal Giant at all.
No. Pretty surprising.
Yeah, Asia has been specifically playing so much less compared to the other two regions. We're just having a lot more cycles, cheaper decks, because oftentimes if you just get cycled out when the opponent has a heavy deck, well, go fish. drops a golem, and you push with ice golem hog rider.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know, there's a couple players that play a lot of Royal Giant, and then not many others who do. They throw it in every once in a great while, but it seems like there's a couple players who are really, really comfortable with it, like Legend. But others, they don't seem to favor it as much.
All right, game number 1, King of Hill between Talon and Chaos Theory. That's a 5.
Well, Jake versus JTV, and will Talon continue to throw out crazy decks? Just a miner here to start it out for them. The Barb Barrel to counter that. Just a few hits.
Yeah, when there is a tornado ban, miner is always the safest choice. And when you just need miner in pocket, you can always have it in a defensive mode.
Yeah, it is such a versatile card. And that's why you see it so often in Clash Royale. The P.E.K.K.A here for JTV. So what will follow behind it? He's willing to commit those resources early. So that makes me think he might have something up his sleeve here. Or he just felt like it was okay to cycle it. Okay. The Lumberjack and the Ram Rider here. Nothing too sneaky.
Yeah, with that Ice Golem delaying the path of Ram Rider just a little bit more to have that perfect defense. I like it, even though you do have to spend 2 more. With that Ice Golem, this might, Balloon Miner combo. And without the Lumberjack, it does so well.
It's gonna get through. Oh, just in time with that balloon. Woo.
JTV having that patience to knock the miner and the balloon together. But still the miner connects a little too much. When Chuck's towers are not even scratched, not even -1 damage here.
Right, so now he's gonna have to play defense. Gets that Lumberjack down, he makes quick work of that Barbarian. And he doesn't look like he's gonna follow it up using the skeletons there to distract that Lumberjack, but okay, the miner does come in to defend it. I was gonna say that Lumberjack will get a couple swipes in.
You know when you have some of those games, you create another goal for yourself and then says, okay, I'm not going to take a single damage onto either of my tower.
Oh yeah.
That's what Chuck is thinking right now, because you've got the cycles, you've got the skeleton.
Defense has been very, very good. Musketeer over on the far right, so it's outside of, well, now it's in Poison Rage. Moved right into there because it got dragged over with the other units.
But the Ram Rider was the one that was going to be causing a lot of trouble. Good Baby Dragon getting all those skeletons.
Yeah, great Ice Golem placement there to drag that P.E.K.K.A, but will it be enough? Using the Barbarian Barrel there. Now the Ram Rider comes through, does get his charge in, but that is about it.
Mission failed for Shake, but he's got his balloon charge, and the miner should also come all the way to the back. Ewiz.
All right.
Defense is okay, but not perfect.
Not in time. There's going to be a very dead Princess Tower. JTV, that looks to be about it. Trying to get the Ram Rider, but the Inferno Tower is there, and there is no answer for it.
And a great cycle coming out from Shake. We've had a lot of Lumberjack Balloon, just sudden push onto the left side, right side. But because that deck has a lot of quick cycle, it's really, really quick in terms of cycle with the Ice Golem, Bats, a Snowball. Only Lumberjack Balloon is actually what you need. But when that's locked out, when that's your only key condition of winning, when that's locked out, you just cannot win. But when you have a miner instead, you don't have the rage, but you end up doing at least somewhat of work coming from the miner and some death damage from the balloon.
Right, exactly, and that stacks up pretty well over time, as long as you can play good defense, and Shake was playing very, very good defense.
And for Clash Royale, it's one of the hardest things to defend the miner on the back of the tower and something coming from the bridge side to defend both at the same time, because you can't just put one unit to defend perfectly against the two. It's got to be at least two or some kind of extra spell.
Yes.
So you're, in terms of the player that's actually using the balloon miner, you're always getting some more value out of it.
Right, basically as, you know, the P.E.K.K.A player, you're just trying to make one big push work, get something going. But if you don't have a good answer for the Inferno Tower and the quick cycle of the skeletons and the other units that are going to be there, you're just never going to get through.
Yeah, one good answer is the Tornado, and that has to be banned here. So that deck will be super, super strong. I think a lot of these players can keep on using it and get a pretty good result. Oh yeah, back on stage. Spent some time. He has been playing a lot of 2v2s.
Yeah, he's been in King of the Hills, but he hasn't won a King of the Hill game yet for Chaos Theory. So maybe today's his day. We've seen a lot of players within the last week or so who maybe hadn't won or lost something, had that turn around on them, like Rotopodon hadn't lost. He did end up losing. You know, so maybe that'll be the story here for Oh Yeah, looking for a little redemption for himself and for his team to get it evened up in the King of the Hill.
Yes.
Oh, he likes Royal Giant.
Yeah, he does. And he tried the skeleton army with that goblin barrel.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It did not have the best results, even after the small buff after the patch. Shake on, can he go on a winning streak, or is it going to be stopped from? Oh yeah, let's get into game 2.
All right, the Electro Wizard staffing himself, as well as the Electro Dragon. So skeletons coming out here from Oh Yeah, and a Valkyrie. Definitely start to think Hog Rider.
That's exactly what everyone is smelling with those Valkyries.
And there he is. There's the Hog Rider. It will be Inferno Tower from Jake again, the Musketeer. Skeletons, this very well may be the exact same deck from Jake.
Yeah, from game 1, even having that skeletons with archers, there should be, so Oh Yeah should be ready with that Inferno Tower when the balloon comes down. And along with archers, it's going to be easier to defend.
Yep, all right, trying to get the miner in there. The prediction on the Inferno Tower, well done there, but there is the snowball available to reset the balloon. So the balloon will go down here before it even reaches death damage range.
So the use of miner in this case was intended to go onto that Inferno so that it does some damage. One balloon drops that instantly gets the tower, and then going directly into the Princess Tower. So many towers in this game. I'm confusing myself.
It's weird because some of the towers are not the defensive buildings that are just always there. Like, you have to build them. And then there's Princess Towers, King Towers.
Yeah, of course, Earthquake. Sometimes it can be switched out for Poison. But this is, of course, a better one for Oh Yeah if he's going up against the Inferno Tower. He has to really connect those Hog Riders.
Right. You can get a little bit of damage from Earthquake, but it's only 183 each time. So it's not as good as, you know, a Poison in terms of, you know, chipping damage over time if that's your plan. This time, no Earthquake. There will be a snowball there to make sure those skeletons don't get any hits while the miner tanks the Princess Tower damage.
So yeah, it's really pushing for that hog all the time. Okay, Shake going for that big attack. Miner, is he going to be all the way in the back? No, not again. And Archer's already, one of the Archer.
And a Valkyrie in there as well to distract that miner.
And the hog onto the left. Shake just placing onto the one left toward the center.
All right, with the Musketeer there, I don't think their Hog Rider will get an attack, and you get the Ice Golem in front of that Valkyrie just in time.
So yeah, this will be a long, long game because both players has an Inferno Tower.
Yeah, and neither of them has 100% perfect answer to the Inferno Tower. Ooh, this time the Inferno Tower is onto that miner.
Yeah, but still the archers are actually good enough to take care of the balloon.
Yep.
And Inferno Tower just to wait so that it doesn't even get the death damage into the Princess Tower. That's what he needs. Earthquake damage is chipping in for Oh Yeah, and Shake is landing some minor damage. That's about it. And it's not even full minor damage.
No, it is very much trying to probe each other's defenses, find some way to get through, but both players playing extremely well on defense, guessing each other's next moves very nicely. Okay, this balloon He's going to get into that Inferno Tower, but there's nothing else there to help stop it.
And the death damage does go in along with that. Inferno came in little clutch, a little too late to drag the balloon all the way to the side.
Right, that could be a pretty big moment.
A good knock. And oh yeah, not having that Inferno right now with not enough elixirs. He wanted to push on his own with his Hog.
Oh, that Inferno just gets in front of it, but with the death damage and the Miner.
Yep, we'll finish it up. And that's what you go for if you do not have the perfect cycle. And when you get cycled out from so many balloons, it's tough. It's tough. When you have your Valkyrie, you don't just want to send it to the Princess Tower. You actually get greedy. You want to have your Hog pair it up.
Yes.
And
yeah.
For you to have your own winning condition here.
Right. You want to have that Valkyrie somewhere near your Hog to tank some damage, be able to delete some of those units like the skeletons that are going to do a lot of damage to the Hog Rider rather quickly. So it's hard when your Valkyrie is getting dragged around and you're not able to really get it across the bridge usually. I think I saw it across the bridge like one time the whole match.
So some of the little changes started happening when Shake was actually using that snowball right on the Miner, getting that archers away from it so that Miner at least connect a few more shots onto the tower, making Oh Yeah spend a little more onto some extra Valkyrie or some of the other units like the skeletons to remove that Miner, making sure it does less damage. But when he's putting that much more, he's losing that much elixirs to put down the Inferno eventually. So
exactly.
Great use from Shake. But the final boss and the gate for the Bowser for Chaos Theory is right here. Can Mario break through that Bowser and hit that hammer?
Well, it's going to be interesting. Only one player has defeated Benzer in King of the Hill, and that's Mikan Boya. Kensumeshi, July, True Fast, Alpha, and Kota have all fallen to him in King of the Hill. So, Jake looking for the sweep here. Benzer looking to keep things alive and keep Chaos Theory in control. If he can reverse sweep, then they will be the first place team out of Group B. But if they lose here, then Ponos has a shot.
Yep. If Chaos Theory, because if you lose, you have to watch. You have to watch the matches happening later on, and you're not gonna be feeling good.
No.
You're putting your destiny into other teams' hands. That's never a good situation. Of course, it's going to be first or second, but of course, having that $10,000 for first place in Group B, I think they really want that. Get greedy. Benzer, he has to go through all three players, starting from Shake from Talon.
All right, Jake's done Balloon Miner both times. Is that going to be the continued setup for him? A Miner to start things off for him, but there's some bats there.
And Benzer did the Prince Miner. This time he brings his own Hog.
All right, will it be the same kind of thing here from Benzer that we just saw from Oh Yeah? Or will it be a different Hog variation?
I think Inferno Tower should be nerfed.
Yes.
It's just way too much. Maybe just a little bit in HP. Because like the last remaining HP is what makes Inferno Tower strong. Like the last 0.5 seconds of attack is the strongest, right? If you just remove that, I think it will actually lose a lot of power.
Yeah, I think something needs to be tweaked with it. It's just so
Maybe
good.
just less damage.
Yeah.
In terms of output. Yeah, good E-Wiz and no Inferno Tower this time because you're expecting that Earthquake to come down, but still the Hog Rider getting a lot.
That's a lot of damage.
Everything just evaporated.
All right, Miner up on the top right there. The bats are going to come down right on top of it, though. Only gets a few shovel hits in. And yeah, getting that Hog Rider through without the Inferno Tower there is pretty brutal.
As Benzer, with the same deck that basically Oh Yeah has played, is trying to have some different cycle, making it better. Really showing his skill on stage. Shake to take a few more hits from the Hog, but he's got the Inferno already, so it should be okay.
Yep, all right. Just waiting to find out what that last card from Jake is. Could just be another spell. It could be a balloon. From time to time, we see the balloon paired up with the Prince and the Miner. But we'll see exactly what he wants to do. All right, here comes the Hog Rider on the right-hand lane. The Inferno Tower is down immediately. The bats are coming in to try to help clean this up. not much damage going to be done there. One archer shot is done up in the top right. Quite a bit done from that.
Yeah, Benzer should have an Inferno, but there's not a good target to use it against. Like no balloon to drag or no like giant to lock onto the laser to do maximum damage. Shake likely to be poisoned. It's the final day and there might be something funky.
Yeah. Every once in a while you see like I said, a balloon back there, but usually
Hog, already Earthquake even before that Inferno, so even slowing it with that snowball.
Just not able to get a hit. Good E-Wiz timing there to keep that Hog from doing any damage. Now Shake can keep playing good defense. It's not looking too bad for him here. Great predictive snowball.
He gets all the bats out. And Earthquake again against the Hog. This one will do no damage, only the Earthquake scratching the tower about even here.
Yeah, it's pretty much blow for blow.
Oh, the Barbarian.
Oh!
Just before.
He was winding up for it, but the Prince just in time. All right, this time the snowball is used in the back because the bats had already been there. And the Miner gets some free damage, a little bit of help from that Archer. And here comes a Hog immediately. The Earthquake is down and a snowball as well. E-Wiz is here though, and that will be a dead Hog Rider. This is so close.
Shake's cycle is actually super great. He knows exactly what Benzer is going to do and needs that tower. This time it's actually the Prince against the Earthquake with the slow, and the last hit from the Prince will be perfect defense.
Yep, just the Earthquake damage there. He doesn't care too much about those archers.
And charges into the top left. Locks onto the top. Valkyrie comes just a little too late.
Oh boy.
That's another winning chance for on the top left. Even the Miner scratching a little more with the shovel. Now comes that defensive Inferno tower.
Okay, there's that situation where we have the Valkyrie in front for the Hog Rider. Great snowball timing there, neutralizing those bats. Can it get in?
Good knock.
The Barb Barrel.
But
Will
the
a bat do it?
One more bat. That's it. With the snowball, that's going to be game. And cycle, but the Miner getting a little more.
So close. Oh my gosh, Benzer. Threads the needle there.
Yeah, the Prince not locking onto the Valkyrie was a tough one, but still Benzer had a lot more room on that tower HP to let go because it was about the same onto the right side and the left side tower for Benzer's side, and the Valkyrie was not even touched. So a lot more time gained for the Hog Rider to attack onto the Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be overly surprised if Benzer kind of planned it that way, because you got to get, like we were talking about in the last game, you got to get that Valkyrie out ahead of your Hog Rider, and he had enough damage done to that side that he could afford to take that damage, because he hadn't taken much on the left-hand side there himself, had Benzer.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, so he was able to soak up that damage and be like, all right, if I can make this one push work, it's my only chance because I am getting slightly outcycled right now, so I got to change it up. So we go for the Valkyrie, it gets in front of the Hog Rider. Yep.
And because that Valkyrie was really super healthy, and a great snowball to get all the bats, slowing down the E-Wiz also.
Trying everything he can there was Shake, but it just wasn't enough.
Great game of cycles from coming out from both players. We've seen some near perfect defenses, some scratches happening over time, and a final win for Benzer. But here comes Yugi Art. Is it Sparky time again?
I hope so.
Piverton, I know you're a big fan of this player.
I am. Yugi Art, probably one of my favorites. Really nice guy, and also plays my favorite card a lot. I mean, it's that's just kind of tertiary. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, you could try that Mega Knight Goblin Giant Sparky business again, because it works really well against Cycle and Inferno Tower stuff. You know, will you be able to bait Benzer into it? I don't know. I mean, Benzer's got to be thinking, you've put it in Benzer's head at least that, okay, they might run that crazy deck again, and if I play Inferno Tower, I'm just in a lot of trouble. It's really hard for me to deal with this deck.
Yeah, that's actually correct. But he has taken hit already, and he just experienced it like 15 minutes ago. And I'm sure he will have a better idea to how to deal against it. He will maybe even bring a deck against it just in case. But Yugi Art is known as a player that doesn't really use the most common deck. Let's see, it is game 4 of King of the Hill. Talon still on the match point. All they need is one more win.
Yep. And Benzer's got to win 2 more if he's going to take it for Chaos Theory. All right.
Another miner.
Yep. And the Mega Minion, this time with a snowball as well to keep those bats off of the tower. So nothing revealed. Nothing special yet. Just a Barbarian Barrel there to distract that Mega Minion.
Yeah, we've seen Miner Prince, Miner Balloon, Miner Goblins.
There it is.
You guessed it.
I knew it. But with the Mega Minion, this is something a little bit different than what SB played. It's probably going to be a little more standard.
With what else in front?
Yep.
Just Goblin Giant.
Poison comes down here from Benzer. He wants to soften this up, and that means that Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of knew that was not going to get the Sparky through that time, so waited to see what exactly Benzer wanted to commit there, and it was a Prince. And now he's got the bats, the Dark Prince here.
Yep. Dark Prince usually really good. Oh, almost saw that animation going in. No damage from the Prince though.
It's close.
Yeah, because the charge just removes the shield, and you can take 9,000 damage. It will, if it's only single hit, it will only get the shield. So that's what makes the Dark Prince sometimes really strong, especially against something like the Sparky.
Yeah. Actually, Dark Prince is really annoying guards as well.
Yeah, guards too, especially guards if they surround the Sparky and split up.
That's my nightmare, man.
That's what I do.
That's my nightmare. That's what you should do.
Another Prince on the bridge. This time drags it away.
And into the Mega Minion.
Yeah, this time it doesn't pair up with the Sparky, so Yugi is just going to toss this up once again.
Yeah, he's going to have to find the right timing here. Yes, he can drop the Sparky here, but oftentimes by the time the Sparky does get back, the Inferno Tower will be in cycle. All right, the Dark Prince there to help deal with that Barbarian, but there's some bats coming down here. He's forced to use that Snowball to not take too much extra damage. There we go. Yep, the Inferno Tower is in cycle here. It locks on to the Goblin Giant, so that could be a dead Goblin Giant. Now you got the E-Wiz on top of your Sparky, which is, you know, not what you want.
And along with the bats to get all those shots away from the Mega Minion. Great deletions now. Again, Miner connecting. This has been shipping somewhat, actually. More than 400, I believe, coming down from that Miner only.
Yeah, this is Yu-Gi-Oh's able to defend reasonably well, but it's not perfect. There's that Hunter at the back end of all of this to help deal with the Prince, but the Goblin Giant doesn't even get in the range of that.
Yeah, the fact
Inferno
that
Tower.
Yeah, Yugi was thinking, because the Hunter will not really get in his value too much. Maybe against the Miner if you predict it perfectly, but oftentimes you will not, and even if you get the Miner, you're going to be wasting a lot of bullets in the air. You don't really find a lot of good targets against it, like if you have a Golem against it or a Giant.
All right, this time tries to soften up the Inferno Tower, and it is a bit less damaged this time because of that Barbarian Barrel.
On top of Sparky.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, E-Wiz on top of Sparky is just, yep, it just is
Yeah,
not
it's a done
good.
deal.
Yep.
You ran out of time.
There's just nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. All right, the Barbarian does come down, but okay, just in time with that Goblin Giant because one Sparky shot does not take down a Prince. Actually, two.
Yeah, Yugi has been having trouble against the charge. How to stop the charge from the Prince. It was usually the Dark Prince, but changes up this time.
Yeah, okay, Yu-Gi-Oh's placing that Hunter here, trying to protect against the E-Wiz. And the E-Wiz is placed a little further away, so it still does get the stuns.
And so it's away from the Hunter. It doesn't, so it takes less damage.
Exactly.
Great placements coming down from Benzer. You want to have that spawn damage to stop the Sparky too, but if you do that, the Hunter was following right behind it.
All right, Yu-Gi-Oh's going to opt to ignore this Miner because he knows he has to make something work. Has to be some kind of big push, this time using the Dark Prince in the front of this to help buy time for his Sparky, but the E-Wiz is available, and there is just not much Yu-Gi-Oh can find through the defenses of Benzer here.
I think Hunter will actually be the key, how you push through with the Sparky. Can't help, but still Miner is chipping a little too much. Benzer getting that value every single time left or right. Good drag with that Goblin Giant onto the right side. Prince does comp with a Sparky shot.
It's a nice shot for the Sparky there since Prince was already damaged.
Double
Takes it down.
Inferno.
All right, that time, that was nice value there for that lightning, but here comes the E-Wiz. Yep.
And not great enough, though.
Yes.
A couple of hundred. I believe just one shot from Dark Prince, that's about it. Even this E-Wiz second shot, that's painful.
Yeah, the E-Wiz is going to get 3 shots in there, and Yu-Gi-Art, you can tell he's trying to think a way through this puzzle that is Benzer, and I don't know if there's an answer available.
And you can't, there are thousands of other pieces, and you just have to find one right piece that connects to it, which is going to be hard, pushing onto both sides.
Yep, does he have the lightning available here? He does not. He's forced to use the Hunter to try to protect the Sparky.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If Hunter's not right next to the unit that you actually want to attack, it's going to spread all the bullets. It doesn't really kill that E-Wiz directly. Running out of time, 2 seconds, and with the remaining amount of HP lower onto Yu-Gi-Art, it is going to be a win again for Benzer. It is tied. We're going to that final game.
I wish he would have tried SB's deck. Maybe SB will do it. Because this Inferno Tower is proving to be very, very difficult for these players to get through. Benzer is so good at his placements. He's so good at his timings. He's able to keep that Inferno Tower alive and get it the value that it needs to give you the win to chip through and out-damage your opponent.
Well, SB has another mission. For Yugi, it was tough because if you use Lightning and on top of that Snowball, there are some room that maybe Dark Prince or the Goblin Giant to actually go through that Inferno, but because of the minor bat coming down from Benzer all the time, the Snowball had to be used specifically against bats all the time. That's what made it really hard for his own cycle to actually work. So locking down the opponent's winning condition by locking down the spells for a few of your units every single time, and in the meantime, the miner will actually do damage every single time, at least a couple of shovels.
Yeah, exactly. That's all Benzer needs. And the weird thing is with the Lightning, yeah, it's mostly there for the Inferno Tower, but you know, also you're hoping to catch an E-Wiz or something like that in it to buy your Sparky a little more time, but the way Benzer places it, it's never in danger of being caught in that situation. He's able to think through it. He knows, okay, is Lightning available? If yes, then E-Wiz goes somewhere else, not near the Inferno Tower. If no, okay, then I could place E-Wiz closer to the Inferno Tower to stop the Sparky so I don't risk the E-Wiz getting bar-barreled or huntered or something like that.
Do you think SB is going to bring something like what we have seen from 1v1 Game 3, which was a little bit surprising?
Why not?
But Benzer knows about it already.
I know.
They bring the same.
I know.
And it is the final game that matters a lot to keep your team in that third place or not.
Yeah.
For talent.
I don't know. I'd do it.
That's a tricky question.
I'd go back to that well. I really would.
Oh, look at that. Just look at that Benzer just for a second. What do you have for the final game? Let's see. It is going to be the final game of King of the Hill between Talent and Chaos Theory. Is it going to be SB clutching this one at the end, or Benzer 3 in a row?
Or I think honestly, like any kind of Mega Knight deck isn't terrible in this situation. There's a lot of options for SB here, but that deck he brought was really unique and really cool, so I wouldn't mind seeing it. Okay, Furnace this time.
Hog on to the other side. Barb just in case of RG or any further attacks. Great against the Hogs too.
Yeah, absolutely. A very versatile unit since they changed it to 5 instead of 4. Even though they're a little weaker. Yep, there is that Royal Giant here behind that Furnace.
Yeah, first time today actually. Even with that Earthquake along against that Inferno does survive, but not going to get the shot fired.
But you get a little bit of damage. And you're going to use the Hog Rider there to distract that Fire Spirit, and you got just minions. Ooh, and a Snowball. Okay, Snowball of his own, so 1 hit for the Hog Rider.
Yeah, SB's deck is actually, in terms of cycle, it's going to be heavy. So Benzer will find holes because of that heavy deck. Once you put the Barbarians, you're really looking to have the perfect defense against the Hog Rider, but you cannot match the amount of elixirs to go through your cards and then have the second Barbarian against the second Hog Rider. Benzer's going to be a lot faster in terms of elixirs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to have to be SB. Ooh. With that Dark Goblin, though, that's a pretty...
And predicted bar barrel
Wow.
to get those skeletons out of the way. Got, I believe, 2 darts.
Yeah, 2 darts it looked like. So actually, this isn't super heavy on SB. It's heavier than Benzer's, but not too much.
And also, Dark Goblin actually does quite a lot of damage.
Yeah. The DPS on that is insane. And I mean, the weird thing is Benzer doesn't have a great answer for the Barbarians. I mean, Earthquake's not really ideal. I mean, I'm assuming that's what's back on the end of this.
Yeah, and this is worse of a situation because of those barbs and the minions. If Benzer puts down the Inferno, it's going to be hard to having a counter-attack. Instead, to draw those barbs, too.
Yeah, there's a barb there, and as well, a minion to distract for the Royal Giant, so he might get one shot. Yes!
And Dark Goblin actually the best tool against the Inferno Tower. It is D-counter. It outranges. So let's see how SB actually uses that.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a really nice counter. There's the Earthquake as well. So SB is very ready for this.
Rojan's a lot stronger.
Yeah, this one's going to get at least 3. Oh, not okay. That Barb Barrel just in time.
Yeah, Benzer had to use extra elixirs to remove the amount of shots being fired. And he also has to think about this Dark Goblin, which will do at least 4 shots if it's left alone.
SB, great minion placement. Great timing on that, knowing that he has to place that Inferno Tower outside of the Earthquake Rage.
Yes.
Here comes the Royal Giant. Will he get one more? No. But
there's no lightning to finish, but with 2 cycles, with 2 Earthquakes, and few cycle spells, SB is actually going to take it.
This deck is so well constructed. Another anti-Inferno Tower deck put together here by SB, knowing that it is the crutch of what Benzer needs to do.
And Benzer having the final squeeze with the Hog Rider. Still 2,000 to go. That's a snowball, and with the following spells, SB is just going to take it. Activates the King Tower just for the celebration. And celebration not the best word in this case for Chaos Theory. But for Talon, it is the secured 3rd place. They're going to move on to the playoff as 3rd place team from Group A.
That was interesting. It was a rocket at the end there for Benzer. So he felt pretty confident in his ability to do chip cycling and then win it with that rocket at the end there. But very ready for Benzer today was SB. Studied him very well, came prepared with decks that were able to counter that Inferno Tower and Hog Rider and the other kind of things that we know Benzer likes to do, the miners, when he doesn't have the mortar available.
So for Chaos Theory, dropping this game means a lot more chances for the other teams to climb. Ponos, they just happen to go up against in the next match.
Oh boy, that makes this next match very exciting. I cannot wait. Ponos versus Bren. Not only is it going to be a great series because they're both really good teams, but now there's something on the line here for Ponos. It is absolutely possible that they could be 1st place out of Group B now.
Let's continue that story real soon, but before that, we gotta hit the commercials. When we come back, we will have the 2 teams. 2nd place, Cran Esports from Group A, and 2nd place for now in Group B, Ponos. Stick around, we'll be back. Welcome back, guys, to match 65. Match 65. It's been a great season so far. Final day of the regular season. And still 2 more matches to go, and this is going to be hectic. We've had the match from the first place of each group. This time it is going to be the second place of each group going against each other.
Yeah, and this is huge here for Ponos. Of course, Bren wants to win this just to be spoilers, but Ponos, now if they win this, they will be moving up to the #1 spot in Group B, so they have a lot to play for. But Bren, no slouches themselves. One of the best teams we have here in Clash Royale League Asia. Trainer Ken, Toby Spirit Hawk, Noam Sai, Monarch GP, and Jai coming in for them.
Oh yeah, there's, in terms of 2v2, I think the strongest out of all teams, out of all 12 teams. And even at the world level, comparing all the regions, I think their 2v2 is absolutely fantastic. And sometimes they have been slipping from the 1v1s and some King of the Hills. Well, let's see how strong they are. They are put to test against their opponent. Ponos, if they win 1 more match, they will get not just plus $5,000 from the prize, they will actually be seeded for the first place and climbing 1 more, having a better place for that playoff spot.
Yeah, and it's also really important so you don't give Kix a chance to usurp you in the 2nd place spot, because if you lose here and Kix wins, then Kix is 2nd place, you're 3rd place, and then you got to be the team that's playing right away on your day of the playoffs.
Summon your inner elixirs. Transfer that into your fingers.
You know what's interesting though? I don't know. We'll find out here in just a second. And so I'm going to hold my point because it's coming up. All right, Reiki Jones and Rad haven't lost in 2v2 sets yet.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
But Mikambuya did drop a lot in his 1v1, but certainly doing a lot better in the recent weeks that we have seen him.
Yeah, his King of the Hill has been good. It's just for whatever reason in 1v1, it was weird. One day he was just super stubborn and just played the same deck every time, even though it kept losing. And it was just kind of like, it felt strange seeing Mikambuya do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's about time. And against Toby Spirit Hawk, a very, very strong opponent too. And you can't just forget about Trainer Ken and Manong GP banning the giant skeletons. And Toby banning the Musketeers. That's going to change a lot of things. We see a whole lot of Musketeers included, even with the Baby Dragon. It used to be just a replacement card for the Baby Dragon when Baby Dragon got banned. We see a lot more Musketeers.
Yeah, I think I have a good idea of why Toby Spirit Hawk banned that Musketeer, but let's save that.
Yep, save that for 1v1. That hype match is coming up very soon, but let's stick with 2v2 for now. Trainer came out on the P, of course, having such a great record.
They're so good. I mean, this is going to be a great 2v2 series. Like, these are both excellent teams when it comes to 2v2. Maybe the 2 best.
Yeah, no boring giant skeletons and tornadoes. Take those 2 out. And make this exciting, because we've seen, with the same bans from match 1 2v2, we've seen some graveyard trees, some balloons, and some giant double prince pushes.
Yeah, Reiki Jones and Rad also like to use the Hog Rider fairly often, so we could see some of that as well here from them. And I think if I'm Bren Esports, I'm kind of preparing for Hog Rider. That's kind of my initial, because that's generally kind of been what they're pretty comfortable with. So we'll see.
We'll see as we get into set 1, game number 1 between Bren Esports and Ponos. Another thing that has been climbing up when Tornado was banned, it's a little bit more heavy, a little bit slower, but Golem, always very standard and good push, as long as you can make it work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, just trading a snowball for some bats and then a snowball for a little damage there. Yeah, the Golem's been pretty popular, especially
from China.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I stole it. I read your mind.
They really like the Golem over there.
Yeah, we both watch China.
I watch
so much.
I love China.
They're so wild.
Yeah, man.
They have so many frees.
Yeah,
like basically in all decks, 2v2 and 1v1.
I love it. Congrats to Nova.
Congrats to spoilers! You're not allowed to say that.
I'm not.
Even though it's been like a week already. Oh, there's that balloon. Lumberjack, big push coming down from Ponos. Burned Big ready. And the snare to counter the balloon. Perfect from Bran.
All right, there are the Barbarians there to prevent the Ram Rider from getting in, so neither team really doing much to the other. A little bit of damage done to the top left Princess Tower. Now they got to use a Log and a Lumberjack to clear up these Barbarians.
Log and the Lumberjack. Really good pair. They have a long story to tell.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't exactly know what that story is,
yeah,
but
right?
they have something.
Defensive lightning having to be used here by Bren Esports. I think that is just out of range of death damage, yes. Death damage does not hit the tower. So now that Ewiz was there to at least slow it up
it actually
one time.
knocks. Oh, it does get into. I don't think that was a charge though. That was just a hit.
I think it was just a hit. It didn't do the. There's no way it did the charge damage.
Yeah, it knocked away from the range and got it closer to the tower instead. So not really happy about that. It could have been a perfect defense. Still not bad.
Yep, Miner is gonna soak up a little extra damage from that Inferno Tower.
Skull Army.
Yep, Skarmy does get wiped out pretty quickly by that Bar Barrel. Comes an Ewiz with a little rage. Having to use a Log to back him off, so you get a little chip damage as well on that top left tower.
And a clean defense again from Bren Esports. No damage taken at all from either tower. Here comes another Lumberjack Balloon push.
Yep, and you can use that Ram Rider now to also snare it. You don't even need to use your Inferno Tower.
85% slow is just going to make that. It basically stops it.
The Raged Ram Rider gets through that time. Some poison as well. The Miner on the top left is getting a little extra damage this time. I think they're going to have to use that Inferno Tower. Yes, there it is. But it is locked on to, I believe that was a Lumberjack over there.
Onto the other side, and the balloon is pretty healthy, going for that spot knockback, and there's a freeze to delete that bat and to freeze the Princess Tower.
Oh, just gets one drop though, so it's gonna even it up a little bit. The Mega Minion on the bottom left though, actually doing even more damage there, 1100 on that bottom left. So finally, Ponos able to break through the defense of Bren Esports.
A huge moment for Ponos. They had the Lumberjack onto the left, and not having that pair with that balloon actually went to the opposite side. Not on the bridge spam, but from a late attack to pair it up with the second Lumberjack. So good mind game going on for Ponos.
Yeah, absolutely. Really nicely done there. And using that split attack actually got the Inferno Tower distracted onto the other side, so that really bought a lot of time to get some other units in front of that balloon. This time, good Inferno Tower placements to drag the balloon well away. Oop, it's going to get death damage range, though.
Not too happy about that. What's after it? Still the Bat's getting the first snares. The snare does go onto the balloon, but what's happening after? Oh,
there's that freeze again.
No knockback. That was a little bit too early on the giant snowball. The balloon.
Oh, it gets
going to connect. And with the death damage, even before that, the fireball is going to finish it up. A great pair of Reed coming down from Ponos, and look how much they're enjoying on stage. I mean, they knew exactly after the Inferno Tower, it has to be the snares from the Ram Rider against the balloon. So we got to throw some of the units to take that snare instead of the balloon.
Exactly. They also had a nice couple predictions there where they had a Barb Barrel that instantly wiped out a Skull Army. Just absolutely great stuff there from Ponos. Once they started to figure out what was going on, they quickly turned it around on Bren Esports here. So that was really nicely done. There you go. You can see they got the freeze down there, and all those bats get eliminated, so that gives you a drop.
Even on the left, the Mega Minion plus the Skeleton actually did quite a lot of damage. I think it was right after this push onto the left side. And a great read. The giant snowball a little bit too early.
And
it missed. It totally missed. I thought it actually hit at least one.
Yeah. No, it whiffed.
Yeah, because the snare actually keeps onto a unit for some good amount of time with that 85% slow. It can actually mess up your own timing to
yeah.
I think you're really looking for that snare to be off for the balloon to get that speed back on into regular speed. I think that prediction came in just a little too early.
Yeah, just a little bit. So let's see if trainer Ken and Manong GP can turn this around in game number 2. Or is Ponos just going to 2-0 and give the win condition to Mikan Booyah?
That's the real question, as Bren, they have nothing to lose.
No.
They have nothing to lose. It's about their pride on this match. Ponos, they got a lot in their hands.
Ooh, Pekka.
They must be ready with some Inferno.
Absolutely, there's the Inferno Tower there.
Ponos, big moment, drags a Mega Minion.
There's that Snowball to help deal with those pups, so they've got an Inferno Tower of their own here for defense. And it does get pulled away by that Skarmy. So it will end up going down, but it should be an even trade there, basically. You can use that log to keep that Dark Prince back. You gotta use the log to keep the Ewiz back, so nobody does any real damage other than some log chip.
If you're gonna have log damage chipping into my Princess Tower, I gotta do the same.
Can't let you get away with it.
Yeah, when you see the chance, sometimes if you're late, you miss the target trying to hit the Princess Tower. Or you do not hit the Princess Tower, only hitting the ground units with the log, so you gotta be really quick. And those, I've been saying it all season, those small damage add up. Trying to clean up the miner. There's an offensive poison from Brand Esports.
Yep, okay. Dark Prince is going to get out of dodge. They're going to drop a Mega Minion there with a little extra help. He does get the charge damage.
And a few pups actually connecting. Not just a few. Princess Tower was actually locked into the Baby Dragon, so a lot of pups doing damage. Wow.
Yeah, that was just not enough defense there from Ponos. Good lightnings in the beginning to clear out those units that were placed to be counters to the Lava Hound. So I think Ponos kind of misread what Brand Esports was going to do, because I don't think they would have brought a Pekka if they thought this was going to be a Lava Hound situation.
And you can't change the AI where they're supposed to go, where they want to go. Another offensive poison. Along with that log, still the miner and few pups doing extra damage along with that poison on top of it.
Those rage pups really chunk into that Pekka.
Only 45 damage, but there are a lot of it. Comes the graveyard poison from Ponos, looking for their own winning condition. But a lot has been removed already.
Not bad, but yeah, 169 left on their tower with 30 seconds to go. It means this next push from Ponos absolutely positively has to work. And Bren, all they need to do is play defense. You can already see they're setting up for it with the Baby Dragon and the Electro Wizard. And bottling everything up at the bridge so the Baby Dragon and the Ewiz can really do some damage.
10 seconds to go for Ponos. There's that freeze along with that graveyard, but the Skarmy in defense after the freeze. There's that log to remove all the skeletons, but not going to be enough for coming down from Ponos. Brand Esports is going to take the victory in game number 2, tying things up for that final game of set 1. Seeing a lot more Skarmy coming out from Brand. I think that is one of the key, drawing out at least one more spell. If you get lucky, 2 spells.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Log and Barbarian Barrel, obviously are good against it, but when it's way back by the tower, you have to have a Log. You can't use Barbarian Barrel. And in fact, you notice that that's kind of a slight change that Ponos did make, because they went strictly Log.
Yeah, this catch, when the lava broke off, there's that slight time for the pups to actually come into play, but Baby Dragon was already in the range of Princess Tower. That was huge, huge.
Yeah, guards as well here, just in case. And so it's so much to deal with that Pekka there. It just has no hope of getting through all that. All right.
Timeout call for Ponos, as they got to take this 2v2.
Yeah. This is so important for them. I think just a bit of a misread on their opponent. Maybe they expected a Royal Giant or a Golem or something, or even a regular Giant. Now, although Pekka's actually not great against Giant Prince, because the Prince can hit through the Giant, and actually it does quite a bit of damage to that Pekka. So it's actually not the best counter to it that you can put together.
Some fans out here cheering for Brand Esports.
All right, well, Brent looking to try to take this one, send it over to Toby Spirithawk, but I think Ponos, they're really good at adapting and making changes, and I expect them to come with something different here this time. Maybe a little more ready for a Lava Hound again, if that's what Bren wants to do. But Bren's been all over the place. I mean, both these teams can play a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, Bren did focus on really heavy into the season with lots of lava in the 2v2. comparing it to match 1, there are a lot of clones, but Bren actually does not use too much freeze or even the clone. Along with that lava, they go in straight and they look for those small mistakes, and also the miner. That's the key with that lava hound.
Yeah, exactly. You got to use that miner to get the extra damage while the lava hound is getting focused on, because you have to keep it pretty well in check, especially once it breaks up into the pumps. But this is game number 3, the deciding one.
For the set number 1 set point. Opponents, they even called that timeout to get this game on fire for them.
Yep, just logging each other. Just a cycle, trying to wait for their opponent to make their move. They might just wait here, depending. Okay, no baby dragon now for Ponos. Same from Bren. That's a musketeer as well there from Ponos.
And actually in range into the Princess Tower. So Bren's baby dragon is going to survive and take care of that musketeer along with that poison damage.
Yep, Dark Prince is being split through the lanes here. A Ram Rider using to kite that one Dark Prince with the Mega Minion to finish it off. So going back into the Ram Rider situation, and now this time the P.E.K.K.A proves its worth.
Another graveyard coming down from Ponos.
Oh, a P.E.K.K.A of their own though here.
Yeah, Freeze getting that Inferno Tower, but not the E-Wiz or the P.E.K.K.A. But P.E.K.K.A from Branny Sport was busy chopping down the skeletons. So Ponos' P.E.K.K.A, which was actually not that healthy, brings down the P.E.K.K.A of Branny Sports. That's a lot of elixirs.
Yeah, and a big amount of damage done there with the help of the freeze and the poison to buy those skeletons a little extra time. So down to 1396 is the bottom left-hand Princess Tower. And so this time, Ponos predicted correctly more what was going to be the situation here, but that tower too far away from that Ram Rider.
Charges in because the Lumberjack actually pushes it to the right, out of that range.
Oh.
Yep, Miner all the way on the back. Dark Prince takes a long time to go around that tower.
Yeah, he's not the fastest until he's charged up.
Yeah, the graveyard, a lot of skeletons connecting. Giant snowball in time, but a few more skeletons. Even the baby dragon locking onto it. That's basically a tower gone. 120 left.
Yep, that'll do it. That's enough for a poison or whatever to get through that. All right, now we got the Dark Prince there to deal with the Electro Wizard. P.E.K.K.A comes in to help clean up the Ram Rider there.
Also has that Ice Spirit connecting all the time. So it freezes it right in front of that P.E.K.K.A all the time.
Just abandoning that miner. They want to go for this push.
That poison is on top, but the guard's actually away from the poison. Great placement. They knew that poison was going to come in from the Inferno Tower position.
Yeah, it was
still takes a whole lot of damage onto those skeletons. 266 to go. 262 to go for Bren. Poison damage. They got to throw that snowball.
The P.E.K.K.A went onto the guards that allowed the Ram Rider to get in and get a hit, so the Lightning will finish it.
That's a lot of elixirs to get that tower down. I think snowball was actually enough for them.
Yeah, they do have the freeze available here. They're trying to back that P.E.K.K.A off, but he is very healthy. He's going to come
on the tower, and that's bam on that second trophy. Counts for Ponos, and they will take that 2v2 on a very important win. Ponos, they take the first set.
Undefeated, Reiki Jones and Rad in 2v2 sets. They are absolutely smashing right now. You cannot break this pair up anymore this season. They have to stick together. They're too good.
They're like the two from the boy band that has like exact same dance all the time. They synchronize basically.
Yes.
That's the teamwork that we can see in-game and outside of games.
Practicing that post-game dance is almost as important as practicing for the match. Almost.
Yes, they get to practice it because they keep on winning. If they keep on losing, they don't even get to practice that.
That's true. That's why you want to win, so you get to do the dance that you've worked on all week.
Extra motivation for the amount of team. Branny Sports, they were bringing some more skeleton army. But small mistakes, and even without that, I think this was going to be a big push anyhow.
Yeah.
So Branny Sports getting down the first one. The important part is that Ponos actually brought at least a log in all games, I believe, especially against a Skull. Maybe not game 1, but starting from game 2 for sure. Getting rid of all the small skeletons.
Yeah, they went right over to that log because of the fact that they were worried about that Skarmy in every game. And it's a nice unit if your opponent isn't necessarily expecting it. If they're just being like, okay, I can just use Barbarian Barrel because that's what everybody uses. Well, it turns out Skarmies, then you got to use a different spell to deal with it, like a Snowball or a Poison or a Zap or whatever you've got going on over there. And that opens up, some doors for you to do some things on the opponent's side when they've already used that Snowball. So your Lava Hound, for example, is able to do a little bit more.
Yeah, we've seen these kind of push, like the Giant Skeleton push the Royal Giant out of range, so it goes shoot directly to the tower. It's the same mechanics here, how you push the Ram Rider off, but Randy Sports, I think with that Giant Snowball was enough in time with that last Poison Tick. I think they were rushing it really hard to use that extra set of lightning. That's, if you compare it to the Giant Snowball, that's 4 more elixirs with the spell.
Yes.
So you cannot have a good defense right after, and the game closes.
That's hard math to do on the fly. And it's really like one of those unfortunate situations where your only choice is to lightning just in case. You're not sure like while you're doing it. All right,
yeah,
so
if you're going to use lightning anyhow, why use the poison with it?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, all right, moving on. Toby Spirit Hawk, he banned the Musketeer. Why? Well, because it is Mikan Booya's favorite card.
Yes.
It's one of his favorites, and it also eliminates a lot of the decks that Mikan Booya likes to play, like certain Hog Rider decks. The Minor Balloon deck is kind of thrown into a little bit of disarray with this ban. So it kind of takes some of the Mikan Booya's like most common strategies that he pulls out of his hand.
Yeah, instead of having like sniping onto one card like Royal Giant, taking out like something like a Baby Dragon or a Mega Minion, it sounds a little closer to it. When there was a Musketeer ban, there was lots of replacement with the Dark Goblin, especially from the Japanese players. I think it really fits their style and the meta. Toby, is he going to bring that heavy deck once again? And he's been having half and half result.
He likes the Golem. He likes heavy things. So we'll see exactly what he wants to bring. Mikan Booya's going to try to win it here for Ponos.
Yeah, Toby bringing a few Royal Giants, Royal Hogs. Can certainly work with the cycles. Let's see, he's put up to another level of test. A final exam, I would say.
Royal Hogs have been really popular in the Grand Challenge meta. So I wouldn't be too surprised to maybe see a little bit of that. So far, maybe.
Yep, and Barbs and even the Fireballs really rising in number of play because of those Barbarians going against so well against the Golem, against the P.E.K.K.A., against the Royal Giant, anything big that comes across the bridge.
Yeah, and this is just the P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram, which is just a very powerful deck in the right user's hands. Ooh, that one Fire Spirit did end up splashing into Mikan Booya's tower. That's actually
the tower? Okay,
yeah.
Good catch.
A little bit of a big deal there.
I think we're just waiting for Toby to have that Royal Giant push. Seems very likely, along with that E-Wiz now.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Royal Giant. It definitely does.
Great value using of that poison from Mikan Booya. What else does he have in his hand?
Definitely not what you want to go against if you're Toby Spirit Hawk, assuming it is the Royal Giant behind this.
Yeah, because the P.E.K.K.A. was coming down, you do not want to place it right in front of P.E.K.K.A.
No.
You're just wasting your elixirs.
Yeah, and Mikan Booya can just sit on, cycling through these 3 or 4 elixir cards, and when the Royal Giant comes down, you'll have enough time to drop your P.E.K.K.A. as well. So it makes it a little tricky for Toby Spirit Hawk. He has to either try to set up a long push by dropping the Royal Giant in the back somewhere, or just seeing if he can, find a timing when he's able to kind of get Mikan Booya to expend a little too much elixir.
It's good timing right after the Fire Spirit, so that Mikan Booya can actually charge into the tower, which was stopped by the Giant Snowball, getting another spell out from Toby. These small timing reads are also really important, especially against the Furnace.
Yes, exactly. So the Barbarians coming down. This is a big push here. The poison isn't quite into cycle. There's the lightning from Toby's Spirit Hawk to try to clean some of this mess up, but the minions are down as well.
Yeah, Ewiz doing a lot of work. At least Toby got that lightning damage into the tower. That's what matters the most.
Yes. All right, split pushing here now. The battle ram, will the furnace come down? Yes, it does. That is able to drag that battle ram away, buy some time here. That's going to be a very dead.
It's 4-4-4, so nothing really lost. Toby would love to have that furnace up still, but even trade with the elixir, so not bad.
All right, distracting those units to buy himself some time to set up some defenses here. Got a snowball coming down to help deal with that minion. Now there's the poison to help eliminate the barbarians. We're going to try a battle ram behind all of this. Furnace immediately placed here.
Even the mega minions on top of that poison. Dash from the bandit is going to do a lot more works.
Ooh.
Another dash.
Another dash. Just not in time.
No, that mega minion doesn't even have enough HP to fly. It should be on the ground.
That would be interesting. There was a unit that had a mechanic like that where it starts out flying, but once it takes, like, loses its shield or something, goes to the ground.
Yeah, good bars, but against the Dark Prince, a lot of your barbarians are going to be hit at the same time. So another elixir spent with the furnace. Toby really wanted that removed.
Yeah, Toby realizing that he doesn't even need to play necessarily the Royal Giant here to get through this, because if he's able to get value out of that lightning, you know, getting an E-Wizard and getting, you know, maybe even a Dark Prince if it's lost its shield if you're lucky, or a Battle Ram or a Bandit as well, you're going to be getting enough value out of the damage and the neutralizing those units.
Yeah, most of the times. Pretty good poison, but a lot of the barbs actually escape away from the poison minions. Just perfect against the barbs. Can't attack air.
All right, we're going to try the Dark Prince with the Battle Ram and
stopping a lot of charges.
Whoa!
This is great having that Battle Ram charge into the tower.
Do get the barbarians down though, so this will be cleaned up, but a little bit of damage done by Mikanboya.
But still, Mikanboya has a lot more chance at the bottom right. 1352.
Yep, now he's going to try to see if he can't get something going over there, but there's already a furnace available that he was going to chunk a little bit more on that top left there for Toby.
Yeah,
and now he's...
P.E.K.K.A.'s slow. It takes a lot of time, but the RG has that range and blocks onto the tower. That's a second shot already.
Oh, it's done.
And
it's done.
Fourth does not get fire, but the lightning should be coming in cycle as soon as possible. Toby's got this game in his hands.
Yep, he's got to do a little bit more defense, but once that P.E.K.K.A. is done, there isn't enough damage available that he needs to worry about. Just needs to get into that lightning, and okay. We're going to drop another Royal Giant here. And an E-Wiz.
Just to make sure he has a lot of E-Wiz to secure, and only one shot needed.
That works.
I think just in case, because those minions might come into place to get those lightnings away.
Oh,
if
yes.
If that happens, he's going to be wasting a lot of elixirs, giving maybe another chance for Mikanboya.
Yes, exactly correct. Right, you can, if you place those minions perfectly timed, then the lightning will just hit all three of them.
There's units first, then the tower. I've seen some amazing ones like the skeletons having some perfect defense against the lightning.
Spear goblins. Those are the best. You get some serious value, or just regular skeletons. Get some serious value out of that.
Or even the skeleton army, that's good enough too.
Yes.
Yeah, the Mob, he had a really good beat. The P.E.K.K.A. away from the bridge. Takes a long time to travel.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a mistake by Mikanboya. Maybe get a little greedy there, because
Mikanboya wanted to set up his own attack. Like the Royal Giant was never ever coming down before that moment.
Right. But you gotta save it to block that Royal Giant. It's your best answer to it.
That's the mind game. Like you know what's coming, but if you save it for that much of the time, you just keep on thinking, okay, maybe he is just not going to play that card at all. You know it's going to be the Royal Giant then. Right. Still, if it's not being played for like 3 minutes, you're just thinking in cycle. Maybe you can actually forget if you focus a little too much on your own cycle.
That has happened to me. You forget.
We all have those days.
Yeah, or you start to think that maybe he's doing something weird and it's not actually Royal Giant. You start second guessing yourself.
But 1 up for Toby. Mikamboya, can he make the comeback?
He's capable, that's for sure.
He's capable, but on the record, it has been 0-2 straight 3 losses.
Yeah,
that 1v1 in set score.
Yeah. All right, Dark Prince wants to get a minor this time for Toby Spirit Hawk, so he's definitely, well, not definitely, but probably changing it up. Every once in a while you see a minor paired with Royal Giant kind of stuff.
He whiz to stop that minor from doing a lot more damage.
Yep.
He is so strong. Either locking onto a single target for both damage, or it can split and attack 2 targets at the same time, having that mini zap.
Right, so double Prince here from Mikamboya. Most likely, there's a giant in there. Every once in a while you see somebody do something weird. Like I've seen Goblin Giant with double Prince very recently. So that it's a possibility, but usually it's going to be the regular giant. And there it is. All right, yes, regular giant here.
Yeah, with the minor. Good call. Toby's got something else in his hand too. Defensive minor this time. This is a big push. And the minor to take care of that E-Wizard.
All right, ooh, that Dark Prince does get the charge in here, but that Mega Minion will go down. Toby Spirit Hawk giving the well played to Mikamboya on that push.
Along with that minor, is it just going to be another? The thing is with the ice golem?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think exactly.
This is what we see from a lot of, sometimes the graveyard deck.
Yeah.
Not with the minor often, so I'm having second thoughts to myself.
Well, yeah, everything but the minor makes me think graveyard. And then the minor makes me go, I mean, it could very well just be a spell and you're just trying to minor chip.
Yeah, it can still just be a Royal Giant once again.
Yes, yes.
From Toby, that's one given thing, of course. But Mikamboya with that zap, trying to clear up a few more things, making sure he does some extra damage, but not as much this time.
All right,
there's that Ice Golem. We're feeling it.
Ooh, it's a balloon here.
It's the balloon onto the right side, onto the other side. Mega Minion should clear this one up.
Yep. Nothing catching Mikamboya off guard there. Right away, he was ready. That Mega Minion, now he's going to split push himself over on the right-hand side. Ice Golem will drag that Mega Minion away from the Giant, but that's a very healthy Giant coming in there. Okay, the barbs do come down. Fireball here, though, from Mikamboya, so he's going to get some extra damage. Following it up with a Dark Prince as well, and a minor of his own. It's looking good for Mikamboya.
Minor good, having some good shovel damage every single time. Furnace onto the left because Fire Spirits do end up stacking if you get lucky, and also stops the charge from coming from the Prince oftentimes.
Yeah, it actually is really not good to have a Fire Spirit land. You might think it's okay when you're playing, but it's actually basically an earthquake every time.
Big push onto the left and the minor onto the right. Which one do you defend first? Prince locking onto the left. Minor still doing perfect damage.
Oh, and that Prince just chunking away on the left one as well, making this so hard here for Toby Spirit Hawk. He has to use a minor to distract the charge of the Mega Minion as well, but it does get the hit. It is going to be a fireball.
Not enough with the zap, so the balloon does not connect. And zap would leave it to one, but fireball would finish it up. And
doesn't even need it.
Before that, Mikamboya got a lot of damage stored in his hands. That's the first win for Mikamboya of the season for 1v1. I can't even believe what I'm saying. It's the first win for Mikamboya.
If you would have told me that Mikamboya wouldn't win a single game in a 1v1 set until the very last day of the regular season, I would have just like called you a crazy person and ordered you a straitjacket and said go to the mental hospital because you're crazy.
And go watch some games from last year and tell me that again. Say that again in front of my face.
Right.
But, okay, now that Mikamboya broke his curse on that 1v1, the dilemma that he has been having all season on the final day of regular season, he has broke that record at least, but he still needs one more. One more win for Ponos to grab that first place. They took that 2v1, 2v2, not 2v1, what am I saying? 2v2 already.
I love the switch up by Mikan Booya here using the fireball because he's noticed that there is a trend here with Toby Spirit Hawk that he's liking the Barbarians, as a lot of people are, and having that available allowed his Giant a few extra hits, as well as a little extra tower damage, of course. So now it is the timeout for Bren Esports because Ponos has already used theirs in the 2v2 set.
Yep, and Ponos is on a match point. You do want to use it before you run out of your time.
Right, exactly. Let's see what Toby wants to do here in this final game. He's played two very different decks, the Royal Giant and then a Balloon Miner.
Balloon Miner with a Furnace, which is certainly not the common card.
No, I can't remember ever seeing that.
I think Toby was slightly trying to bait because, okay, I used the Furnace before with that Royal Giant and making a lot of us think that it might be a Royal Giant. It seems like with the Ice Golem, there's some chance with the Balloon Miner, but just keeping that card sealed until the right moment and trying to have some mind games against Mikan Booya.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, again, you know, Bren is playing for pride here, nothing else. Their position is secure in the standings. So you can afford to take risks. You can afford to do weird stuff that isn't, you know, the normal meta deck for that deck. You know, you can switch things in here and there. So game number 3 could be match point. Let's get into it.
Good luck from both. Mikan Booya from Ponos on top, Toby Spirit Hawk at the bottom in blue. I feel an amazing game coming towards us.
Whoa, goblins. Interesting. What is...
Lots of small once a cycle. Small, cheap cycles.
Yep. There's a lumberjack here.
Is it time with the lumberjack balloon that's been somewhat out of date?
That's what it kind of felt like.
Just bridge spam. Spams after spams.
He's trying to get something through, but the bandit is there to clean up the goblins. He gets a little bit of damage. Ice Spirit, of course, will buy time. Take out that bandit. And now let's find out what Mikan Booya wants to do on the back end of all this. Baby Dragon. Definitely makes you think, P.E.K.K.A. Princess here for Mikan Booya.
We've had really quick cycle RGs in the last few days.
There's that balloon. Yep, it is the lumberjack balloon, and there is a Ram Rider available, but its snare does get onto the balloon here.
Even the knockback from, but there's no damaging source. It did the slow, but what else is following up with that balloon? Second shot, even a third shot is possible, but he was just before.
That is brutal for Toby Spirit Hawk. Mikan Booya finding the perfect timing in there. 283 is a lot. Now, the good news for Toby Spirit Hawk, there isn't any massively damaging spell available in Mikan Booya's hand. I mean, you got to worry about the Princess being used at the bridge, but you do have Barbarian Barrel and some other things available to quickly deal with that. You got to be on your toes a little bit. But
yeah, the Princess, the problem is that Princess will be on the other side most of the time. And that can be a pain because Toby's going to be attacking into the right side. He just has a Princess on the left. Exactly. Eventually that will get to the tower if left alone, and we'll finish that tower up. Toby's got to use that extra elixir. Let's see the defense from Mikan Booya this time.
Yep. It's like he's going to drag that P.E.K.K.A. out around a little bit.
It's a big set of units onto right.
Yep. Does Mikan Booya have enough here to stop it? The charge goes through onto that top right. You've got other units. The dragon is belching onto there already. A barbarian swinging away as well. So a lot of damage done here, and a very healthy P.E.K.K.A. now with a Ram Rider. Oh no!
And the P.E.K.K.A. still survives, and that's another way. And the Princess gets blocked. Good read from Toby. He knew that Princess was going to be coming down. Not enough damage, not enough spells to take out that bottom left. Toby, with that big giant push onto the right side, is going to take this game away, and we're going to that second King of the Hill for tonight.
I mean, what a performance here by Toby Spirit Hawk to keep Bren Esports in it. It looked so good for Mikan Booya, but just too much in that push for Mikan Boya to deal with. You got so much health. You've got the Ram Rider snaring things up and doing a little bit, you know, keeping things off of that P.E.K.K.A that way, and it just fell apart.
Mikan Boya looks stressed.
He was laughing at the end, but yeah, he does look stressed.
That's how I feel, and it's not really the most common face that you would see from this player from the few years that I have personally seen his face. Usually a lot of confidence, and as the leader of the team, I feel, and from his result this season only, not up to a level where, from a lot of fans' expectations as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you think if he can just win 1 or 2 of these 1v1 sets, then Ponos is the #1 team for sure going into the playoffs. Instead, they're fighting for their lives.
There's one step away going into that playoff. Starting from that first place spot for Ponos. Toby also showed some great games. It seemed almost hopeless when he only had this moment, 283. That's not too much of what you're going to have. A Bandit getting removed. Removing that Princess all the time. That was key that Toby was always thinking of. And a big push onto the right, keep bridge spamming along with that P.E.K.K.A. Well, that was the hard choice. You have the Princess, but it doesn't really do, like, the amount of damage it has on output on a single target, it's actually not much.
Right, exactly. It's only, I think, 100 and something per shot. It's not a ton.
It does the area damage, so against like barbarians or minions, it's great, but not the best choice against the P.E.K.K.A.
No. 140 per shot from the Princess. So, all right, here's our King of the Hill lineup. Toby Spirithawk looking to see if he can just take this down himself. He'll start it off for Brent Esports, then trainer Ken and Jai, of course. Jai being such a good 1v1 player this season. He's their anchor. And then you got Kota, Mikan Boya, and Rad's going to finish things off for Ponos this time.
Weird. If you just look at single cards on the left and right, it's nothing weird. It did come out from time to time. But when we ban out Baby Dragon and Mega Minion at the same time, it's sort of weird because it forces you to use bats, minions, or minion horde even. Yeah. It removes a lot of those air units that you use often, so often in all of the decks. That's in the meta. Baby Dragon in basically like half of the decks. Mega Minion, I mean, it has been in every single competitive deck since the birth of Mega Minion into Clash Royale.
Right, and it definitely makes it feel like the door's open for a lot of heavy land-based stuff. P.E.K.K.A. especially would be seems like it's quite good, but we've seen this happen before where like air units get banned and then somebody's just like, well, I'm gonna do Lava Hound Balloon.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of those small units. So what I want to say is that, actually a question to you.
Yeah.
Is that, are we going to see that buffed arrows? With buffed projectile speed?
That's a great question. I think it's
because
possible.
I think compared to bats, of course, we see a lot of bats, but minions are actually, with these kind of bans, you would expect a lot more minions to come out, right? A lot more small units in the air and also the ground.
Yeah. You might dig deep here and go into that old Lava Loon deck that had arrows. That might be something you could consider here, but we'll see what they've got planned.
Big moment for Ponos. Toby's up first. And his skills look really good on stage against Mikan Boya just now. Kota. See the bats, minions?
Yep. See? About what you expected here. Dark Prince, though, from Toby Spirithawk. With the minions, definitely might be P.E.K.K.A. We'll see. Oh, Sparky! Hello.
Huh.
This is going to be a dead Prince. Bye-bye.
Yep, already took some damage from the Dark Prince.
It's going to be an Inferno Tower.
E-Wizard time.
Oh, no, it is E-Wizard. Okay, he did have the E-Wizard available there. I wasn't sure if he was going to use the Inferno Tower there. Since it's Minor Prince, usually you see that paired up.
Yeah, Toby says, good luck. Oh, my Sparky is locked out. Too bad. Yeah, because the Baby Dragon's out, you have the Musketeer. And often pairs up with the Sparky anyhow.
Yes. Yeah, Musketeer's good for keeping stuff busy, keeping stuff off of Sparky.
Yeah, because when there are lots of units surrounding Sparkies, you do want to have the Dark Prince.
Yeah.
To have the area damage. Along with that Baby Dragon is actually another great pair.
Yes. All right, so there is the E-Wizard once again. There's the Barb Barrel, but the Prince is there. However, so this is going to be a little bit dangerous here for Toby Spirit Hawk. All he's got is the snowball.
Charges in. It slows, but the charge keeps on going. And even the Miner going to finish up the tower. Oh, that's Sparky. Because this happened because Sparky was basically wasted twice in a row. So 12 Elixir is basically gone. Well, it got some value deleting the first Prince, but that was about it.
Yeah, it's just, it basically turns down into like a 7 or 8 Elixir value there for Kota. Goblin Giant, of course, so, you know, could be a Hunter at the end of this. Most likely it is. And there's that Inferno Tower this time. So having that E-Wiz makes this so difficult for Toby Spirit Hawk.
Even the Prince locking onto a good amount of damage onto that Goblin Giant.
Ooh, one Sparky shot.
Gets 1 damage. That's 1,100.
That is a big shot there. Toby Spirit Hawk trying to turn this around.
25 seconds. Might be a little too slow for another Sparky, though.
Yeah, and that Inferno Tower was still very healthy.
Yeah, really trying to push it with the Goblin Giant, but still goes down already. 1,004 to go. Not going to be in time. Spilby looks for a miracle with the Goblin Barrel with the minions. E-Wiz to secure the win for Kota.
That will be it. Toby Spirit Hawk not able to get it going with the Goblin Giant deck with the Sparky. Just too much E-Wiz available, not the best of answers for him. You want to use the Barbarian Barrel is your go-to, but oftentimes the Prince is there. And so that's just like gonna get deleted real fast by that Prince.
Yeah, you also want to bridge spam, basically bridge spam your E-Wiz so it's away enough range away from the tower so it doesn't get lightning into both targets.
Yeah, and look at it. This is a bit of an, you know, with that Prince there, he can just quickly delete that Barbarian from the Barbarian Barrel with the E-Wiz one zap, like one of the bolts going onto it, and the Prince hit is dead. So it can't survive that. And that makes it really difficult to keep that E-Wiz off your Sparky. Because you don't have any other answers except the lightning, but you know, if you're placing the E-Wiz correctly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, E-Wiz, right now the meta is so good because you have so many charges, like the Hog, the Ram Rider charge, Battle Ram, both Princes, you name it. All those mini stuns against the Giants, Royal Giants, P.E.K.K.A, Golem. I mean,
yeah, it gives you so much flexibility in setting up your defenses. Because like you said, it stuns the charges, and it also makes the big slow units like the Giant and the Golem and that kind of thing.
It even stuns the tower.
Yes, yes.
The Princess Tower too. Trainer Ken, surprising that it's his first time ever playing 1v1.
Well, it's his turn. Why not?
Well,
Got nothing to lose.
It's the first turn, his first turn of the season.
Yeah.
Of course, last year you didn't get to play a lot. It's in a different meta. I would like to see, and we're going to get to see what this player likes to play in this meta right now. Any kind of decks are viable up against Kota, though. We've seen Sparky not work. Bad news for Paper Thin.
Except for SB. SB got it going, but that was a wicked interesting deck.
Right, 2 more wins for Ponos. First place in Group B.
Yep, can Kota do it? Can he just sweep Ren Esports here? Give themselves that first place position.
Even amount of damage traded. Archers, is it going to be again the Hogs?
Battle Ram from Trainer Ken. We'll see if he's going to do the P.E.K.K.A variant. There's a few others that we see from time to time here, but the Rascals do end up taking that Battle Ram down. A few shots on the bottom left.
And one more bubble gum onto that tower. With just the Battle Ram, reminds me of something else, as we've seen some Three Musketeer decks.
Yes. You can definitely do, yeah, Three Musketeers.
Yep, but we need to see that. We need to see that collector. Looks a collector if that's gonna happen.
Yep. Just the P.E.K.K.A. Just standard meta stuff here. Little bit of a weird start here for Coda. It almost makes you think it's like Border, and then he's like, nah, I'm gonna play P.E.K.K.A. dog. It's like, all right.
Yeah, P.E.K.K.A. with that Dark Prince, just in case of you have to have a lot of area damage. Got a lot of small units, the Bats, Rascals, Archers. I think he's really good to go, especially against the P.E.K.K.A.
The balloon P.E.K.K.A. deck.
And minions. A lot of those minion actually gets to hit, and the Princess Tower locks onto the balloon before the Bats, so that's good news. But the death damage does connect.
Yep, so a pretty nice trade there for Kota. See Trainer Ken pretty surprised by that. Miner's gonna get one shovel in.
Miner gets shovel damage from coming across the bridge? That never happens.
That's true, that is pretty rare.
I know. You wanna split? So that it makes it a lot harder for the opponent to deal with both.
Royal Ghost here. Usually don't see that.
Yeah, the older traditional
yeah.
P.E.K.K.A. B-Ram deck here.
Barbarian is going to get some hits in.
Yep, and they land on the poison. Of course, the girls, because the poison does stop in the middle, they don't go down. There's another balloon with the Miner. Predicted Miner for another E-Wiz placement there.
Yep, good Miner placement, but now those minions are in the way, gonna block that balloon from getting a drop.
Yeah, Coda having some great lead. That was a perfect place for E-Wizard. Trainer Ken actually waiting for that, and then using the E-Wiz later.
Oh, but Trainer Ken now getting some damage from that Electro Wizard. Bridge spamming a Royal Ghost as well, so you're forced to use a Miner to back all this off. So Trainer Ken has pulled ahead pretty significantly up in that top right corner.
771. Get another B-Ram just about now. Rascal Boy locked onto it. Still the poison damage is going into the tower. The Bandit dashes into the Dark Prince now.
Yep, that's all you really need now is to get some poison. Maybe if you're lucky, find a little extra damage. As long as you play good defense, you can do it. That P.E.K.K.A. certainly there's an answer here for it. Oh, his head doesn't have enough health.
Sometimes you think that.
I know.
And then it does.
I've made that mistake.
And then you end up seeing the animation, and then sometimes the damage actually goes in. That's the worst case scenario, but another poison damage. Trainer Ken cycling through, making sure he's getting some of those rascals down.
Yep, minions and archers fighting each other here. The minion's gonna...
Coda's locked onto that balloon. I mean, he's been holding onto it for a long, long time. Here we go.
Yep, he's trying to find an opportunity to use it with the Miner, but the E-Wiz is available. Is a snowball coming down, trying to buy him some time, but now the minions are there as well.
But the Barbarian and the Royal Ghost on top actually gets the first one. Coda thought with about 2,000 tower HP onto the top left, thought that was enough, and had enough of a time for his balloon to actually connect, but great defense coming down from Trainer Ken.
Yeah, the placement of those minions is really important there, not only to help deal with the Miner, but also because once they're done with the Miner, then they're going to go onto the balloon and prevent it from doing any drops.
Yeah,
it's really nice to have that available here, and just think, it's an expensive deck, so it's hard to justify bringing arrows. If you have arrows there.
Yeah, if you bring arrows, that's another question, because if you do not have the giant snowball, you're really concerned about, because if you do not have that knockback,
right,
which you really need against those Battle Rams, against the Ram Rider or the Hog Rider, you buy so much time by having that knockback all the time.
Right.
So it is not the same arrows. They do some damage, but they don't knock any units back, or they don't even stun the units. So maybe a rework on arrows?
Well, they got a speed buff, which is nice.
Usually you don't miss too much, because the radius on the radius on arrows is actually huge.
It's one of the biggest spells out there. All right, Mika and Booyah time. He has been darn good in King of the Hill despite being just not very good at all in 1v1. So, a game or two from him here would be very, very big for Ponos. Obviously, 2 games would be, you know, real nice. But 1 game, hey, that'd be good. Send it into Rad's hands. He's been pretty reliable in his 1v1s. So.
Yeah, except for the first 2 King of the Hill games for Mikamboya. 6 straight wins so far. So that's a good record. And it's about time to show what he can do on stage once again. He could have closed out the set against Toby's Spirit Hawk. That did not happen. Up against Trainer Ken this time. Same bends, Baby Dragon, Mega Minion. Play it, you will lose. Look at that stare from Mikamboya. That's scary.
He is dialed in now. He wants some revenge for losing that 1v1 set. Will Trainer Ken stick with that P.E.K.K.A. Battle Ram? Or will he try something a little different this time?
Just a tease with the barb.
Definitely different. Definitely different.
Ice Golem, Ice Golem. A lot more balloons in play today with the Miner.
Yep, skeletons from Mikamboya and a Hunter. So this raises some questions here as to exactly what Mikamboya is thinking.
Is he thinking what I'm thinking?
Maybe.
Is this the final version of his graveyard? We'll have to see. Royal Hogs. Straight into the Inferno Tower, though. Trainer's got a good defensive call, along with some Musketeers. But the Dark Prince still survives.
All right, now we've got a nice Golem Cycle here and some Barbarians that is going to die. Some Skeletons that will help make that Musketeer die. She does get 1 shot into the tower. Oh, 3 Musketeers here from Mikamboya. Wow. Ah, okay.
I think this is the one that he actually posted on his Twitter a few days ago.
Yes. I saw this on, I saw people playing this on the Grand Challenge. I did write it down. I was trying to find it. Snowball probably at the end of it for Mikamboya. Getting some damage on the bottom left there with that Musketeer, getting quite a few shots.
Yep. And Trainer Ken has been having an excellent cycle with those Skeletons, removing some extra shots. But no Inferno Tower this time.
Not much available other than a Snowball to deal with these Royal Hogs in this situation. So that's quite a bit of damage done by Mikamboya.
And the scariest thing about three Musketeer Royal Hogs is that they can split so well. So you don't even know where the damage, how much damage is exactly happening. There's that Hunter locked onto the Ice Golem 4 now, but the extra shot.
Ooh, just in time, even though he got slowed up. Now there's a lot of damage being done on both sides of Trainer Ken's towers. Now, just in time, that Musketeer is able to finish that off. Now the Hunter's doing quite a bit of damage on the bottom right, trying to push again with the balloon up in the top left, but there's 2 Musketeers there.
And a good knock away. Miner locks onto one of the Musketeer. And that's the one that was damaged, gets caught by the death damage from the balloon, but the Royal Hogs continue to push, along with that Ice Golem left side and the right side. Which one do you try to have perfectly defense, but neither side is perfectly defense?
Yep, now Mikamboya just needs to make sure he doesn't let that balloon do its thing.
Balloon will actually take the first hit. A little too early from Trainer Ken, but even the Miner is secured.
Death damage does come in.
That's tough. The Hogs are crossing for 300 more damage, and that's game. Trainer Ken says, well played, good game. Mikamboya will bring it. Another one for the team. And one more.
Does he just feel like not winning the 1v1s? He's like, I am just going to do nothing but put all the pressure on myself this season, send these things into King of the Hills, and then we'll just beat everybody when I'm there. That's what it feels like. That's what I feel like right now. He's so good. I'm just so shocked that, you know, he hasn't done well in the 1v1 sets.
That's the thing. As these are the hard pushes that has been climbing up a lot, especially Royal Hogs coming out a lot more from West. You draw out so many elixir from the opponent, and oftentimes it cannot be a perfect defense.
Yeah, you need some kind of strong AoE, and that isn't really in the meta right now. There isn't a lot of that. I mean, you see Ice Wizards from time to time, but that's not a lot of damage. It's going to slow up the Royal Hogs. E-Wizard, yeah, his initial damage is splash, but then it's only 2. You know, you can have your Dark Prince, and that's not too bad. Things like that. Or the Hunter's not too bad.
Yeah, as long as your opponent doesn't really catch too much with the poison or the fireball into the Musketeers or the Royal Hogs, you can also actually bait the fireball with the Hogs and then get those Musketeers out. So it's the second winning option for that deck. Here comes Jai to possibly save the day for Brand Esports.
If anybody can do it, it's this guy. He is crazy good. Was really good in 1v1 sets 4 and 2, 9 and 6 in his games. So he played really well, and he's 3 and 2 in King of the Hill. So he's definitely one of your better 1v1 players here in Clash Royale League Asia. No more timeouts available. We're just gonna have to get right into it. Will it be more Royal Hogs from Mikan Boyer? Is he gonna change it up again?
Yeah, Jai using a couple of miners, but a lot more Royal Giant. Also Lava with the flying machines. We'll see what he brings. As Mikan Boyer with one more victory, one single game, bring this team to a higher spot. Game number 4.
Kix is gotta be rooting so hard right now for
Jai. Whatever you do, win.
Come on, Jai. We'll see, though. Kambuya has been so good. Battle Ram this time. Use the Valkyrie in defense, so looking like Jai is going to run the Hog Rider this time. Ewiz here, so probably, maybe the P.E.K.K.A here.
Yeah, that seems very likely.
Yep.
Jai's got some cycle. A good zap.
Right.
Reflex time coming down from Mikan Boyer is actually crazy. It's like he guessed everything that was going to happen.
He just...
second shot is a little...
Ooh, second shot. I mean, that's the thing.
That's
If it's just minions, even if you place them there, it's going to get 2.
If you react fast enough, you can cut it down to 1.
Yes.
Sometimes.
You have to react real fast. Alright, the Valkyrie going to be set up to counter the Battle Ram. And some skeletons there as well to soften it up for those Valkyrie spins. Mikan Boyer isn't going to try to back anything up behind that. He's just going to cycle into Ewiz here. Slow up that Valkyrie and then let the Bandit do his thing.
Mikan Boyer wants to build his own attack. Hog onto the left this time from Jai. In response with Dark Prince, but it's not going to be perfect. Another 2 shots onto the left.
But you're getting a little bit of damage here from the Ewiz. He hits pretty hard, especially when both beams are connecting.
He does, and the stuns onto that Princess Tower makes her slower, shooting those arrows all the time.
All right, gonna do a split push of his own here. There is an Inferno Tower.
The skeleton actually pushes the Ram away from that Inferno.
Oh no, that's huge. That allows the charge to get through for Mikan Boyer. Oh boy. That's actually a pretty big moment. All right, the skeleton's gonna distract the Bandit here. Poison going to help finish off that Inferno Tower. Dark Prince versus the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie wins that, especially with the help from the Princess Tower. There is the P.E.K.K.A, who's very much helping out with this. Does not allow that Hog Rider to get even a hit, and now we get to split with the Battle Ram. Minions coming in here. Great placement to distract the Inferno Tower.
Exactly. And Battle Ram goes down with the archers. That's going to be good defense onto the right and the left with the Valkyrie coming out from Jai. It's his turn with the Hogs. Only the Bandit. This Hog will do.
One swipe. Oh, doesn't even get 1. I thought it would get 1, but
yeah, me too.
Good placement and good timing with that Ewiz drop damage.
That Prince does connect, but you're really going for that right side a little more.
Oh, just in time with that Valkyrie to get that Bandit's dash off of his tower. That would have been huge if he could have got that connected. Uses a snowball right away. That's a very dead Valkyrie.
To get those minions to low HP. There was that secret Bandit coming behind that Battle Ram.
At this point, Mikan Booyah, he can just kind of poison his way through this if he can play good defense.
He's got a good defense set up. And the Hogs so far with the E-Wiz, and not has been connecting it.
And a minion there as well to get a little extra damage, make it a little easier. Are we going to get a Battle Ram on the right side here? No, the Bandit's already down on there, getting some hits in. That is 590 left on that bottom right.
No extra strike from the minions, but Mikan Booyah is sort of ready. No E-Wiz to stop the Hog completely this time.
Yeah, it gets a few hits in there because of that. It looks like he got 2.
Because of the Valkyrie taking first few shots. There's the Bandit.
It's all the way across.
He wanted to zap it so that the dash actually goes into the tower, but not even close. Even the Valkyrie comes down.
Oh boy, this is getting a little dicey now for Mikan Booyah.
He spent a little bit too much with the extra zap, but still not bad. 805.
He has to E-Wiz here. That's not ideal for this situation. He wants that E-Wiz available for the Hog Rider.
Yes, exactly. The Hog is coming back in cycle really soon for Jai.
Yep, there it is.
But the Valkyrie taking shots from the P.E.K.K.A. There's that dash from the Bandit, but it's not perfect.
Oh, it's 94-38, so he just needs to cycle.
Another spell with the Earthquake or the Snowball for Jai. He needs only one more spell damage.
Oh no, I don't know if it's going to be enough here for Mikan Booyah.
Pushing everything at the moment, but not in time. Jai waited for that moment for Mikan Booyah to go put his extra strength in his own attack. Really using that time. Okay, you spent extra zap.
Yes.
Which is only 2. It's not like he missed a rocket or something, but
no.
Just 1-2 elixir difference and pushing for that small tiny window.
But yeah, when you're running a low-cost cycle deck like this, it actually makes a huge difference when one of your spells, even if it's just the 2-cost one, is forced to be played because of the ratio of the cost of that spell to the cost of the opponent's deck.
And also, Jai was actually pushing it far enough with the Valkyrie. And Mikan Booyah's E-Wizard spawn time was actually getting out of cycle. He was having pretty good cycle against the Hog to stun it, along with that Dark Prince to have perfect defense against the Hog Rider just by itself. But when that Valkyrie came along with that Hog Rider, so much more shots taken by the Valkyrie so that the Hog Rider goes straight into the tower. That was beautiful to see from Jai.
Exactly, and that's kind of what we've been talking about with that deck, is if you can get that Valkyrie in the front, that's when that deck gets really dangerous. That's when it's really hard to defend against it, because the Valkyrie has a ton of hit points, does AoE damage when it starts spinning, and it does hit pretty hard on its own.
Whew. 2 full final set of matches here. Rad holding the key. Can he find the right door? There are lots of doors here.
So many doors.
And Jai's hiding behind one of those doors.
I feel like I'm in that scene in The Matrix where he's got he's got all these doors just going down a hallway, and I'm like, well, which deck are you gonna pick this time?
Well, if you have the key from the Keymaster, it doesn't matter which door.
True. I don't think Rad has that key. He's not Neo. Maybe he is.
Does he? I think he might.
We'll see. I mean, he's been excellent so far this season across the board. Whenever called upon, I mean, yeah, he's only won one of his 1v1 sets, but he's 2 and 3 in his King of the Hills, so he can get it done in 1v1s. And we're gonna find out now if he can do it for Ponos and give them that first place spot.
Game 5. Kicks. They're waiting for the result of this match. Hut. Yeah, we've seen some Hut Furnace with the RG. But that's not the only one that we have in the meta.
There's a Golem floating around.
Yes.
With the Gob Hut as well. There's actually quite a few Gob Hut decks that have been kind of bouncing around recently.
Yeah, with the Witch sometimes.
Yes, the Witch one, yes.
Yeah, and also some graveyard decks along with the Hut too. So let's wait just a little bit more. Dark Goblin Princess cycle coming down from Rad.
Ooh, gets the King Tower activated. Tornado is there.
Skeleton Army. So mad skill spell bait. And that Dark Goblin is actually going to get so much more value.
This is like overkill spell bait. There's 4 log baits in this thing.
Well, it's a meta with a lot of bar barrels and snowball,
Right.
so you better make it worth.
This is quite fascinating.
So Rad does activate the King Tower by having that tornado. For Jai, it's a big problem because he wants that miner to connect.
Sparky?
Unheard of, actually.
What?
This one, I will actually say I have no idea.
I've never seen this.
Maybe there was a time in ladder that I have seen this, but
yeah.
not in
Competitive play.
not in history.
What? What is
With
this?
the RG,
It's my deck almost.
go straight in, and the Dark Goblin is actually well ready with that Mega Knight spawning on top.
Oh my
got the
God.
spawning damage, but the Sparky survives. Guards to defend with the shield.
Look how he's using these units to surround his Sparky to keep it healthy.
This guard, this Dark Goblin actually did so much.
It did. It's going to be a bit of a problem actually for Rad, that Dark Goblin. All he has is Tornado available to kind of deal. It's his only spell. And the Princess is going to get some nice damage onto that Goblin Hut. He's forced to use a Miner here to take that Princess down. And this is great. If you're a Sparky player, you're totally fine with Goblin Hut because you can buy all the time in the world to set up your push.
Never mind. What Rad actually had was from the China finals. One of the Nova players actually used this just last week. Dark Goblin doing a lot of damage. And the Sparky still surviving. And spawn damage with the Mega Knight takes the Sparky hit, but still survives.
Yeah, now you've got a very healthy Mega Knight backed up by a Dark Goblin. Good use of the Tornado there to buy a little bit of time. The Bats as well, I think, are going to prevent the jump just in case the Skarmy coming down here. This was used in the China finals?
From Nova.
I swear to God I watched every game, but I guess
From
I
Nova,
must have missed one.
Oh, I have it right here. Miner
I wrote down like every
doing
deck.
some more, but the fact that the Sparky never connecting into anything has been a problem, and that Dark Goblin from Jai getting more than maximum amount of value from that 3 elixirs.
Yeah, the Mega Knight is a bit of a problem here. You got to find a way to get those Bats to help out with the Mega Knight, because most of the other units are just going to get erased by the Mega Knight.
Is it 3 shots or 4 shots with Mega Knight from Sparky?
3, I think.
I think that's really close. And guards are also another problem.
Yeah, this is actually a lot that can keep Sparky busy long enough.
That's right.
And the Skarmy is not what you want against a Mega Knight.
Yes, that's doing area damage. Still survive. Tornado's gonna pull, but the Miner already doing work.
Oh my gosh. Rad looks very much disappointed here. I don't think he knows exactly what he can do now.
Yeah, even with that King Tower activated, this is tough.
It's so hard. It's Mega Knight is actually pretty darn good against Sparky. Because you could get the drop damage on it.
There's no Zap, there's no E-Wizard from Jai, but because of all those small units and the ones that can take shots from Sparky.
Yeah, and you can see that's all it takes. And Sparky does get one shot, but it's not nearly enough. Now you're going to try to kite this Mega Knight. You got a Skarmy over here. The Princess is shooting at that Miner as well. You buy a little bit of time over there on the right, but that Dark Goblin still
survives, and it's going to connect to the tower. Even 2 shots. Now with that spear. 344, another spear, 277.
Yeah, every spear is 67 damage. So the Princess buff paying off nicely, at least for a little bit, but now the poison comes through.
And a predicted bar barrel just in time.
Oh, it's so close here.
So many range units.
One more spear throw is all it's gonna take. Oh my gosh, here it comes.
And Jai will finish the match. Another win for Brand Esports Ponos. They do not steal that first place away from Chaos Theory. Well, Kicks, they have another chance now.
Oh my gosh, Kicks is going crazy, I'm sure, wherever they are. And they are ready now because it is up to them. Their destiny is in their hands. They can get a bye in the playoffs if they can win against Sandbox Gaming. Woo! This is crazy. It's unfolding perfectly for Kicks here.
Everything has come down to Kicks. All the condition, all the situation is met for them to win, to move up. Is it going to be possible? Ponos, they went all the way to Game 3, to 2v2 Game 3 on 1v1, and Game 5 to King of the Hill. But Jai closes it out for Brand Esports. Ponos, well, both teams still go to that playoff, but where you start from that playoff, it's going to be important. Just having one more less, a lot more time to prepare, and less revealing of the strategy. I think that matters a lot. That's only match 2, guys. We're having a full day. I love it. So many different decks coming out. It's going to be time for Kicks. So they have another chance. Sandbox Gaming versus Kicks coming up next. The final match of the regular season. You're watching Clash Royale League Asia. time for the final match of the regular season. And we just heard some exciting news before we go into the match of Sandbox Gaming versus Kicks. Goblin Cage is allowed in play.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll see if anybody opts to try to bring it here. If they feel like maybe Goblin Cage might be usable. We saw it used a little bit when it first came out, when it was first released on the Grand Challenge letters, but since it has been pretty much abandoned.
Yep. It's in a weird place. It's in a weird place, and the Brawler is strong enough to take a lot of shots, 800 HP. But for 4 elixirs, and it's a different mechanic in game, so I don't. Still a lot more studies need to be done before it actually comes out. But who knows? Like, this is the team that might actually Just bring Goblin
Why
Cage.
not? Why not?
Sandbox.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose at all. They're not going. Sadly, they're not going to the playoff, having 2-8. But for Kicks, this match matters a lot.
This
a
is
ton.
so important. I mean, they win this. They control their own destiny. They win this, and they are second place, and they get a bye in the playoffs, and that is huge. That reduces the amount, you know, like kind of the amount of games you have to play by quite a bit, and reduces the fatigue you might suffer.
Yep, and because the group, we have the matches separated by groups. If they go up, they will actually make Ponos play one more match, even if they have to go up against OJ and Entus instead of themselves. Making the opponents play one more before you face them, I think that matters a lot.
Yes.
Because in the week, we're not going to have like a big patch, but still things might change depending on the study of this Goblin Cage.
All right, let's see. It'll be Shinju and Greed versus, of course, Malenton and Dio Stitch. Malenton and Dio Stitch hate the giant skeleton. They think it's too powerful, so they just ban it.
Yeah, pretty weird day where we have Tornado, Giant Skeleton banned for all 2v2s the entire day. And for Sada, Onion, Lightning ban. That's pretty funny. Lightning ban so that Sado can use the Inferno Tower, but Onion bans the Inferno Tower. Anyhow, so those are sort of like cancelled with the ban cards.
Yeah, Sato has a 100% win rate with Hog Rider decks, so that's why we're banning the Inferno Tower here. I mean, obviously the Inferno Tower is strong as well, but it targets the Hog Rider deck specifically that Sato has success with.
Not just banning the Hog Rider decks. I mean, name all the decks that has Inferno Towers in it.
Minor, minor, a bunch of different things.
Minor Prince, minor
Balloon,
minor whatever you want to pair it up with that Inferno Tower. You can actually put it on a lot of the decks, even the RG sometimes.
Yes.
Instead of Furnace having that Inferno Tower, just in case. There comes that 2v2, same bans entire day. More lavas, Graveyard Clone. Freeze has been the story for a lot of the 2v2 tonight.
Yeah, Freeze has been very, very big. Very strong card in the 2v2 meta right now. It's got a pretty decent radius. It does some damage, so if there are skeletons hanging around, they get hurt. And
I'm waiting for a day that Freeze gets banned on 2v2.
Could happen.
Maybe that will happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And can throw a lot of the decks. Because a lot of the balloons, like even the Lumberjack ban is okay, but Freeze, even if you don't have Rage, if you have that Freeze, you're going to get a free ride onto the tower anyhow. So I think the Freeze ban is actually one of the strongest ban along with that Tornado in 2v2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Freeze has become a go-to card, especially when Giant Skeleton has been banned, because you got to find other answers, you know, to get some damage done here besides Royal Giant Skeleton, which seem to be the meta for the most part.
Oh, yes. Let's get it ready. Sandbox Gaming versus Kicks. 2v2 starts now. Game number 1.
Both of these teams looking for something, and I can tell you right now, Kicks is probably a little bit more nervous. Wall breakers!
One of them connect.
What in the world? What is today?
Oh, that's Sandbox for you.
Oh my God.
Royal Giant Rage, so a couple of shots.
Yeah, got a couple in there. So a couple big shots, so a return fire here by Kicks. Are you for real? And the Skeleton Barrel, Miner as well in here. The Skeleton's coming in to help deal with this. There isn't much to deal with that Skeleton Barrel. It will get its death damage at least. But then the E-Wiz is here to wipe up the Rascal Girls.
The Kicks, I think they're sort of surprised by the choices. Rocket just missing the Baby Dragon, but gets everything behind the RG.
Baby Dragon gets a couple belches because of that, though.
So with this many small units going across the bridge, Kicks, they have enough spells. They have one log, one zap.
Well, all you need is one of those to stop the wall breakers. The wall breakers just need one spell.
Double Lumberjack?
If the Princess Tower is logged onto it, it's not.
It's the towers!
Oh my God. What are we seeing? What in the world?
It was also a mistake from Kicks having both Lumberjack. One should be like on the opposite side of the Princess Tower.
Their communication got completely thrown off. Their zap was late with the log.
Yeah, I think they're really surprised and frustrated with the cards that Sandbox Gaming actually brought into play here. Seconds set of wall breakers.
Yep. Having to use an Inferno Tower on the wall breakers there that Log's going to delete. The Electro Wizard, and you got some Rascals to help tank for the Baby Dragon damage, and the Mega Minion. Rascal Girls will clean it all up. Really interesting stuff that we're seeing here from Sandbox.
Already pushed onto the right side along with the Miner Skeleton Barrel, carrying a lot of skeletons laying. Wallbreaker does not connect this time because of that many.
There you go. Let's see if they can get this push going. They don't have to focus the top left because it is in rocket damage range, so they are able to switch sides here, are Sandbox Gaming. And that forces Kicks as well.
Yeah, good log. Push that back, getting a few of those small ones out there. And Sandbox, they're making this 2v2. Certainly a different one with those wall breakers coming in hot.
Oh, those
and
skeletons are coming in. Now they're switching lanes. See if they can get that miner.
Yeah, all they have to do is defend this near perfectly. And that RG answered by the Inferno Tower.
There's that lightning. I was just about to ask, where's the lightning?
Good log to pull it away from the tower. Still has that rage.
I don't think it's going to be enough.
Even had that zap just in case, but the rocket is going to finish. Sandbox does take game number 1. They look so much stronger when they have nothing to lose.
All these teams that have nothing to lose today are playing really, really well. They're just throwing everything they've got. They're like, these are some of the strategies we've been saving, or something crazy we came up with over the week.
Wall breakers ×2 for both players. That's pretty wild.
Just absolutely wild. They're just, and it's the wall breakers with the miner, and they just weren't ready. You can see right there that they didn't know what the answer was. They were so surprised by those wall breakers. They have the spells and other things. Just about anything you throw in front of the wall breakers will prevent them from getting to the tower.
Yes.
Literally just about anything. But they just were so shocked. Of course, this time they have the miner to tank for them, so they're able to get through. And you see that zap came in late because just completely threw Malinton and Dio Stitch off.
Wow, I'm still shocked
that
that we got to see wall break. It's not the first time
no,
being used.
The second.
Well, double wall breakers, it's the first time.
Yes, yes. Double 2v2, yeah. It's just a really fascinating idea Shinchu and Greed have come up with here and executing it very, very well. Taking that game and then having the rocket at the end. I mean, it's just fascinating what they did there. All right.
Can kick some back from that one big loss. And mental attack, too, from those wall breakers.
I mean, that's just crazy.
One card you'd never expect to come out.
No. Are we going to get Goblin Cage this time? Like, both of them doing some Ram Rider shenanigans.
Yeah, Rams. More Rams. Yeah, good amount of slow on top of those snares.
Yep. Ooh, Lightning's going to clean all this up. Oh, it does get the charge in.
And a few more damage coming off from top of that rage from Sandbox. Not going to be a big of help. They have to use another log to push them back. Kind of funny how those Ram Riders just having all those slows against each other.
Oh yeah, just like it's weird when they kind of get stuck in like they're like in a gravitational loop with each other. They can't leave each other's orbit. And good placement with those skeletons there, not allowing any damage to come.
And Musketeer all the way on the back just in case something like a freeze comes down or something.
Right.
To freeze the Princess Tower.
You could do wall breakers freeze. Come on, I know. I want to see it. All right, the Ram Rider not able to get through despite the lightning there, so now they're going to try a push of their own, just using the poison offensively. This time is Kicks, and that's going to be some belches from a Baby Dragon onto that Princess Tower.
Just 2 connects from the Baby Dragon, no charge from the Ram Rider, but Sandbox still taking significant more amount of damage, about 909 in difference.
Yeah, so Kicks definitely trying something a little different and doing it a little better, even though they're running pretty similar decks. A great skeleton placement again. having used the log as well, but it's going to prevent a lot of the minor damage. It gets a little bit this time. Raged up units trying to push through, but the snare's not letting that poor Ram Rider get through.
And because they're slowed up so much more, the poison gets a lot more in value. And Kix has been chipping even more from those extra spell damage.
Yeah, that poison.
What else are you hiding, Sandbox? Pekka.
Pekka. All right, will there be a lightning here? Yes, indeed. What is the other answer? Pekka is still pretty healthy, though. And there is a skeleton. They're using some logs to back that Pekka off. It does go down.
A double miner for Sandbox gets blocked all the way, pushed from the log, too.
Great miner placement completely threw Sandbox off guard, and that will be a Princess Tower down. And it looks like Kix will take game number 2 and turn fire here.
And good catch with the amount of logs. Always catching the miners from Sandbox with those skeletons if they don't connect. Just push them back away from the tower so the skeletons do connect. Even with that win, don't seem too happy because they still have one more game to go.
Well, I think they're deep in thought. I mean, I can see Malenton, you know, usually he's pretty lighthearted. He's having a good time, but he really wants this win for sure. And I think he's really considering exactly what he thinks Sandbox Gaming will do next and what their best answer will be for that. You know, will they try to go back into that wall breakers situation? I don't know. I don't think so. Wall breakers kind of feels like it's that one-trick pony like clone where you can really only do it one time and then the jig is up. Like that is it. Nobody's gonna fall for that one again.
Yeah, if there's like an extra log or extra snowball, just like against clone, it does wall breakers, they will never catch. They will never actually get to the tower.
Right.
They will always fall before they get to the tower by the amount of spells the opponent has. But it makes you think a little more. Do we actually have to bring another spell?
Right, exactly. They didn't that time. They only had the snowball and the log for the light end of the spells that you would typically want to use against the wall breakers. So they didn't. I think they kind of knew that. All right, you only get one shot with that deck. That's just, you know, it's almost cheese, right? You're cheesing in a way.
Game 3 is ready. Sandbox Gaming versus Kix. Let's see who takes it. We were expecting something out of ordinary coming down from Sandbox. We've seen it before in Game 1. Game 2 was a lot more standard with the miner.
Yeah, let's see what they want to do here in game number 2. An Ice Wizard. So that usually implies there's something heavy up ahead for Sandbox. Not always. Pretty standard stuff to get like
Yeah, you can line up with some graveyard.
Yeah, so you could do graveyard too, yeah.
And along with that amount of ice, you can get some great pair up.
Yeah, you see Double Prince graveyard with freeze. That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, good luck to get that Dark Prince away from out of the range.
Oh, so log does only allow a couple hits, but that's still quite a bit.
Yeah, Lumberjack 3 hits. Huh.
Well, okay. They're not going to show their hand just yet. They're just going to cycle some defense and make Kix reveal whatever they want to do. There's the lightning there. Good lightning. Cleans up a lot. A lot of value in that lightning.
Yeah, perfect targets. Tower, 2 units. That's what you want to get from lightning, deleting both of them.
I mean, Sandbox has to change it up now. So if you're getting caught with that Ice Wizard and a Musketeer and a Lightning, there's the graveyard. All right, will it be freeze on top of it?
It has to be. Is that to remove all the skeletons, but remaining skeletons connecting just a few and a log has to come down.
Yeah, not significant damage. It just evens things up here. So Kix now playing on an even playing field with Sandbox. Ice Wizard's gonna come down and help finish off that Mega Minion. And ooh, a Mega Knight.
To take the shots from the Princess Tower. Inferno already locked on, but that's going to take some time.
Yep, down goes the Mega Knight. Doing an okay job cleaning that up, but an offensive poison is coming through here, so Kix is going to have to find a way. It's a Royal Giant for them. They're going to have to use that lightning here. In fact, it does go down, but a defensive freeze forced out, and that's going to let that Inferno Tower take down the Royal Giant.
Defensive freeze with plus that Inferno. Sometimes it's better to have later lightning so you can actually cancel the damage onto the Inferno, not just using it right away, because the remaining HP does matter a lot.
They're still just basically even. I mean, it's basically even.
Good Mega Knight spawn there to keep that Ice Wizard alive. Double Rage and even Inferno getting that power boost.
Yeah, is Kix going to be able to push over the bridge here? That Rage doesn't last long enough for the Royal Giant to really take advantage of it. This time they're just going to zap.
It almost seemed unnecessary to zap it or even have the defensive freeze. Now time for the Graveyard. They have the freeze ready for Sandbox. And a defensive poison from Kix immediately.
Yeah, this is really nicely done by them. Really well thought out. Use the poison defensively here. It did get a little unlucky there with some of that RNG.
Yeah, just 2 skeletons connecting damage.
And there's that defensive freeze.
But no Inferno Tower.
Don't need it. With the Mega Knight and the Mega Minion and the Ice Wizard, that RG has no chance of getting through this. It's actually just so hard with that Ice Wizard here. They're going to have to find a different way to do it, I think. Oh, one shot, though. That's big.
507. Another big push. Graveyard ready. Double Graveyard.
Oh, boy. Poison right away. A few skeletons getting some shots in here. They're going to use another poison, and that should be it. I think Kix does go down.
And that's Sandbox finally taking a 2v2. Wow, they've done it. They don't really have that many set wins on 2v2. On the final day, they're going to throw some peppers against Kix.
Making it a little spicy. All right, well, these teams that are playing on the blue side, they had nothing to play for today because everything was basically settled on that side. And, oh man, yeah, you can see Dio Stitch. This is a tough loss for them. They really, really thought they could get this 2v2 win, set themselves up nicely, and gain that second place position. But now it is all on the shoulders of Onion.
Yeah, double Graveyard, double amount of skeletons, and you would expect the same because they basically happened at the same time, same place. You don't see an extra circle, but the amount of skeletons you would feel, and by the time you feel it, you're already too late, and you cannot have a perfect defense against double Graveyard, even if you have the defensive poison sometimes.
Right, because of the tick rate of that poison, you're not actually getting the skeletons fast enough all the time before they can come in and get some hits in. There's the first game where we saw the wall breakers. If you're just tuning in now, go back and watch that one on the VOD because that was crazy.
Yes, that was the first 2v2 of this matchup. The game 2 Kix had a really good return fire. And with the miners, even the Baby Dragon connecting, and Ramradder was the real key. So Kix, they started off with their own Ramradder crossing the bridge so that they were always getting some poison value, chipping away with the miner and the damage together. Sandbox never really got to cross that bridge too much.
Yeah, that's right. It was really hard for Sandbox to do that. Everything was just stuck on their side, and then they were able to poison on top of it as well. So this one, at the end here, it's just too many. Despite the poison, it's just too many. The freeze there as well. So Sandbox able to get a 2v2 win. And oh my goodness, this is crazy. Onion, a lot of pressure on him, but this guy has ice in his veins, G-Clef. We've seen him be absolutely magnificent at times, especially in those King of the Hills. He hasn't won a 1v1 set. He's come close. And granted, he's had to go against Jack Yu-Gi-Art and Roller Poron, which are, you know, some of the best 1v1s in the world.
Yeah, but also Sado on the other side for Sandbox, not really having the best results so far. Only having 2 to 5 set scoring 1v1. And even against Spencer, of course, 2 straight losses, but just one against Reggie Jones from Ponos. Should be feeling okay. Both of these players not really having the best result from the 1v1 set, but for King of the Hill, they actually have a very positive win rate.
Yeah, exactly. So they're both very skilled 1v1 players, and I mean, I lean towards Onion winning this because of how just calm he is in clutch situations. He's done it for them more than one time now. But Sato, of course, as well has done it for, you know, he's got 2 all kills under his belt.
Surely you do not want to go against Hicks. King of the Hill, you do want to finish it up. If you're Sandbox, here goes set 2. Game number 1, it is 1v1. The bands are Inferno Tower, Lightning.
Well, Sato typically like cycle.
So without those 2, you would just expect a lot of RGs. But even with because RG, you need the Lightning for the Inferno Tower. But those 2 are removed, so you just bring RG.
Yeah, you can put Fireball.
Yeah, Fireball's perfect because that's... Dude, why are you reading my mind so well? 'Cause I was going to speak about Barbarians.
Yep.
And because you don't have to use a Lightning, it's the perfect chance to use that Fireball.
But Battle Ram here from Sato, so there's that Royal Giant we're talking about. Onion definitely favors that. There's the P.E.K.K.A, which does pretty well, even with the Ewiz slowing it up. It is 2 shots, 3 shots, and the Bandit's going to have to help there. That Ewiz really buying that Royal Giant quite a bit of time.
Yeah. Dash. Good dash damage from the Bandit. Is this going to be... Yeah, it needs extra setup.
Oh, this wind up, but it didn't connect just in time.
So it's going to be about the spells. And Sato, I don't think he, with this deck, I don't think he has the Barbarians. And
no.
Fireball sometimes, in a desperate situation to get the Battle Ram.
Yes, exactly.
Can be used, but you don't really get like the Barbarian worth of damage.
No, in this situation, it's not ideal, but you at least did something at the end of the game, maybe. But we'll see if that actually is what he
It just ends up being snowball.
Yeah, it could be. Well, all right, here comes the baby dragon. Take some shots. Ooh.
Even a zap from Sato.
Yeah. Got a little bit dicey there. Usually, that Bandit is able to get her charge going before the stun lands from the Ewiz. But I guess it was just close enough. And here comes the Royal Giant with some big stuff behind it. But no Ewiz this time to slow up the P.E.K.K.A attacks. So it's only going to be 2 shots this time.
Yeah, as long as Onion can chip in some damage with the Royal Giant, I think he's fine. The dash goes in. Barbaro just a little too late.
Yep. That is some extra damage there for Sato. He's going to try to split push on the right-hand side. The Lumberjack is there, and that will clean up the Battle Ram and the Barbarians that come out of it. It gets some extra damage with an Ewiz up in the top left as well.
Some extra side damage coming down from Sato against the Furnace. Has that poison hitting on both.
All right, Ewiz helps stop the Dark Prince there. And now we're getting a Bandit. See, watch this. There you go. That's usually what happens is the Bandit is able to not get stunned. But
yep, there's that Fireball. Lands onto the tower, and I believe that was an Ewiz right before.
Yeah, the Ewiz is the best target for that Fireball.
No, Baby Dragon connecting 1 more damage. That's a lot more painful than you think.
Oh,
And it's overtime.
Just in time with the Ewiz spamming that Dark Prince on the bridge. It's going to get the charge. All he has is the Mega Minion available. That's 2 hits. Onion.
Yeah, 1 poison. That's going to do it. Activates the King Tower. The last tick. Sato takes the first game.
Yep, the power of the P.E.K.K.A Battle Ram, especially against Royal Giant decks. It is a pain in the butt if you're a Royal Giant player. If you're going up against that, it is really hard to deal with that because the P.E.K.K.As hit so hard onto your Royal Giant. You know, if it's just a P.E.K.K.A, it's still only going to get 2 shots. And then you've got a beefy P.E.K.K.A coming your way, and then you've got a Battle Ram in the other lane not too long after that, and you're like, well, I've got a Furnace, and that's okay.
Yeah, instead of the P.E.K.K.A, if it was Barbarians, Onion had the perfect answer with the Fireball. But we can all kind of make this guess that, okay, with that Lightning Inferno Band, very likely it's going to be Fireball coming out from the opponent.
Right.
And a good Good deck choice along with the zap from Sado. He was always chipping in some extra damage even against the Furnace or even just chipping the tower all the time. I think that was actually worth it. Moving some of the options. Especially because Onion didn't really have small units to go against the zap, like the skeletons that he wants to delete or the minions on top. It would always do some damage, but like not enough to take out the entire thing.
Right. All right, well, timeout called here by Kicks, of course, because this could be match point. This could be a quick one here for Sandbox Gaming and Sado. And Sado kind of throwing a bit of a curveball based on what we've normally seen from him.
Yeah, and to follow on that zap choice, he's the one that banned Lightning.
Yes.
Really concerned about Sparky choice, I think. He
Ah.
had the zap and the Uwiz together.
Yeah.
Because Sparky, we've seen it today happening over and over. Because of the heavier bans, especially with the giant double prints or the golems just popping up from time to time, you do have to think about the Sparky when the Lightning is banned. I think that's a great option.
Yeah, Sparky and Inferno Tower band actually, or not Sparky, Lightning and Inferno Tower band actually opens a lot of doors for Sparky because those are both pretty decent counters to Sparky. So it absolutely could be. Yeah, you got to keep that zap because you're a little worried. You know, you've got the zap and the Ewiz in that deck. So that's a lot of answers if, in fact, Onion does dip into the Sparky pool. If he sells his soul.
To that electric machine of trash can? Maybe. We'll see. He's the Onion.
All right. Match point. Onion looks a little more concerned than I've seen him in the past.
It's match point for Sandbox.
Oh my god.
Wall breakers.
All right. Dark Prince is able to take them down.
Yes, of course.
What is going on, TG Glass?
So,
is this going to be, I think it's going to be maybe the spell bait version of the wall breakers.
see? Another
okay,
set
minor.
of
It's the
minor
minor.
grid, yeah, minor wall breakers.
Okay.
And there's also a balloon wall breaker. And even with that bomb tower, okay. Let's not have a conversation.
Nope. Let's just watch this beautiful thing unfold. Whatever this is, Ram
No
Rider
bomb
here.
tower, and there's a zap.
Oh, that Ram Rider.
Charges in actually just in time.
Oh, getting some decent damage. The
Also
top
got-
left is
yes, with
kinda
the
even.
snare damage, got the Mega Minion down too. That's totally worth for Onion.
Yes, but he is just a bit behind in Elixir, just by about 1.
Yeah.
So it's kind of whatever. It's basically an even exchange. Now Sado's got to find a window, try to get those wall breakers in there. What in the world are we seeing today?
Yep. The minor to tank it on the back, and you want the wall breaker to connect it from the bridge line.
Yes. Yes. Okay, the zap and a barb barrel. So actually some pretty good value for Sado there.
No, Ewiz spawn.
Oh, he was spawn.
To get that wall breaker down, and you've seen it. Doesn't do a thing. And Onion still has a giant snowball ready to go. So this certainly did not work too well for Sado, but he's gonna try a few more because that is literally his winning condition.
Yeah,
Wall breakers and a few more shots from the minor only.
Yeah, that's all he's got here. That is it.
You can't move to the bomb tower next to the Princess Tower. That's no way. The Ram Rider is keep pushing.
Yep, the bomb tower is there to keep it busy, finish it off so it does not get its damage, but the poison is chipping away further onto Sado's bottom right-hand Princess Tower. Just trying to spam an Ice Spirit there. It does get its jump damage.
Yeah, because of that Inferno Tower, Sado just has that bomb tower in a replacement.
Yes.
But it does not work the same.
Ooh. Not quite as good in most situations, especially against Tekka.
Wall breaker to the left with the minor.
Yep, he's going to use the... Nope, this time the Baby Dragon is far enough out. Good placement there by Onion.
Yeah, good read. If that locked onto the minor, that could have been actually connecting. There's... just
a
cancel
hit.
the charge.
He's gonna leave that Baby Dragon alone. He knows he can afford to soak up that damage.
He's more concerned about the right side. But Onion's also defending onto the left. So Sado does have to think about that second option. And Onion may just push right instead.
Yep. Once again, good placement with the Baby Dragon.
As long as you get those wall breakers down, Miner, you can take some damage, but get rid of it after.
Exactly.
You're less concerned about that, Miner.
Alright, this time is that being used by Sato.
Yeah, Yu is still connecting, just free shots onto the left.
Man.
Sato leaking some elixirs for his own push.
Alright, E-Wiz is available and a snowball being used as well. Make sure those wall breakers aren't getting anywhere near.
Yeah, because of that extra giant snowball, along with that E-Wizard, this time Miner does do some extra damage for Sato.
Barb Barrel just in time to take down the Prince. The poison being used here to get rid of those Rascal Girl, and the Rascal goes down a little bit in health.
Sato does not really have too many anti-airs, only the Mega Minion. The Mega Minion, Rascal Girls, and I guess the Ice Spirit is working the way too.
Right.
But when that's down, he really needs to work on that anti-air. Baby Dragon takes a whole lot of hits.
Yes. Alright, we're going to try the wall breakers one more time.
Ram Rider on the left.
Oh! Just doesn't
And
quite get
activate
it.
this, activates the King Tower.
Oh, great snowball. Oh, and just in time with another bomb tower to keep that Ram Rider busy. But she is doing a little bit. The poison coming in here. We're going to try the push. The Barb Barrel is available, and it'll keep the wall breakers from coming in. This is looking pretty dire here for
Zap
Sato.
onto the right, not onto the left. That's going to be painful. Sato has to use extra elixirs against the Ram Rider.
Oh boy.
So some elixir difference here. Yeah, before that Baby Dragon came down.
934. This is really, really
Oh,
challenging.
dragged by the Miner and the wall breakers!
Oh, it got in!
And the Giant Snowball actually pushed it in, so bad news all over for Onion there.
All right, the Ice Spirit at least breaks the shield of the Dark Prince, but that Ram Rider has to be zapped so it can't get in and get any hits done. The poison is going to even this up. Oh my gosh.
10 HP difference on the left side. And poison cycle for Onion will do it in 2 turns. Sato needs a little bit more, but has the Miner.
Yeah, here comes the Miner. The wall, great Barb Barrel. It catches that wall breaker. He will not get through thanks to that E-Wiz as well. Now you cannot take any more damage here, Sato. Oh, he gets it because the time is up.
Sato, that is going to finish it. Sandbox!
I got so engrossed in that match, I lost track of the overtime counter. I was just so into what was going on there. Oh my God.
And kicks. They do not get their chance to go into that King of the Hill. We're so caught with those wall breakers all the time. I mean, we were just running out of time. Didn't even realize exactly. And see this.
I just loved it so much. I was just so like, I wanted it to keep going until someone took a Princess Tower.
So for Group B, especially Chaos Theory, after losing, Ponos had a chance. They failed. Kicks had a chance. Another fail. So the placement for Group B does not change at all. So they stay. Chaos Theory on top. Ponos second. Kicks third. And Ojin enters fourth. Sandbox Gaming, a great final match. They showed something else. Maybe some more promising plays. I think idea is the key in this team.
Yeah, it seems like when they come up with creative and unique things, it tends to pay off for them. And we saw the wall breakers be very important for them today, giving them 2 game wins, one in the 2v2, one in the 1v1. So it's wins across the board for the Group A, the blue side, making things very stressful for all the teams on the red side. First with Chaos Theory being stressed because if Ponos won, then they lose their first place spot. Then Ponos lost, and then if Kix wins, then they lose their second place spot, but nothing ends up changing.
Yep, nothing. And the only other way was Group A, Talon and OP.GAMING swapping places 3rd and 4th, which doesn't really matter in terms of how they have the matchups or even the prize after. So no real difference, but great set of games. We got to see a lot of creative decks, some different style of play that might come into playoffs. Here we go in just the week, starting on 22nd. I believe that's Saturday.
Yep.
And we're gonna go through playoff match, 3rd, 4th from Group A on the left side, Group B on the right side. So they get to go through all starting from 4th versus 3rd, and then the winner goes up against 2nd. The winner from that goes up against the 1st place, and the winners from each group grand finals.
Yeah, so we're going to kick things off with Talon versus OP.GAMING. That should be an excellent matchup there. Talon, such a deep roster, able to bring many different variations of their players into the 1v1 or 2v2 slots. OP.GAMING, kind of similar, but they've had to kind of rely back on Expo Master for their 1v1. They haven't found somebody who's been as consistent in that spot for them. So I'm curious to see exactly what they're going to be thinking on Saturday.
8 weeks of regular season. It comes down to this. 3 more days of playoffs, and we're going to crown one single team and find out the top 3, because the top 3 will also get their chance to go to invited to WCG at Xi'an in July. So there's a lot, not just the prize. They get to represent their country and team, also their region.
Yeah,
in China for WCG. That's also a big spot because I think they're also contesting against Sierra West and also China. That's another big stage that they want to go for.
It's huge, and it'll be really fun to see how these different regions will stack up against each other, you know, halfway through the year before we move on to bigger and better things as the year goes on. This was such a fun day.
Yes, incredibly fun day.
I was so engrossed in so many of those matches. I mean, I was just like so blown away with some of the choices they picked.
But no Goblin Cage, though.
No Goblin Cage.
Maybe in the playoffs, but I still doubt it until we get some patch.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what we're waiting for, but we're going to have all the matches before the next patch hits. We will be back in just 1 week for the playoff. We still have a lot more matches left, but that's it for the regular season. See you guys in the playoff starting Saturday the 22nd.